Money affects every part of life, yet most people struggle to get ahead while a small percentage continue to grow richer year after year. Understanding why this happens is not about luck or talent. It comes down to the choices we make every single day. In this audiobook, you'll discover the practical steps that separate those who remain stuck from those who create real financial freedom. You'll learn how to take full responsibility for your money, develop habits that build lasting wealth, and make decisions that set you up for long-term success. Every chapter is designed to give clear, actionable advice you can apply right now to improve your life, your mindset, and your finances. This isn't just about earning more money, it's about changing the way you think, act, and plan for the future. You'll see how daily decisions, consistent effort, and disciplined habits compound into results that last a lifetime. You'll also learn how to handle setbacks, stay focused when things get tough, and create multiple paths for income and growth. By the end of this audiobook, you'll have a step-by-step understanding of what it takes to move from financial struggle to stability, independence, and real opportunity. If you are ready to take control of your money and your life, this guide will show you exactly how to do it. The path is straightforward, practical, and achievable. It starts with knowledge, grows through daily action, and transforms your life one step at a time. Chapter 1: Accept responsibility for financial decisions and daily actions. The first step toward changing your life is not a better job title or a lucky break or a sudden windfall. It is not waiting for the economy to improve or for someone to rescue you. It begins the moment you stop handing your future to chance and start taking full responsibility for your choices. That is where strength begins. That is where respect begins. That is where money begins to obey discipline instead of emotion. Many people spend years trapped in the same cycle. They work hard for a while. They spend without thinking. They borrow to cover habits they never examined. They blame low wages. They blame family pressure. They blame bad luck. They blame the times they grew up in. Some of those things may be real. Life can be unfair. Opportunities are not always shared equally. Some people begin with more support and fewer obstacles. That is true. But truth does not end there, because even when life is unfair, your response still matters. Your decisions still matter. Your habits still matter. Your direction still matters. Responsibility is a quiet power. It does not shout. It does not ask for attention. It does not feel exciting at first. In fact, it can feel heavy because it removes excuses. But that weight is not a burden meant to crush you. It is the weight of your own life returning to your hands. Once you accept it, you stop being a victim of every condition around you. You begin becoming the person who can build something stable, something honest, something lasting. A person who takes responsibility does not say, "I am poor because everyone else had more." A person who takes responsibility says, "This is my current condition and now I will work with truth." That difference changes everything. Truth gives you a foundation. Excuses keep you stuck in noise. The poor often remain poor, not because they are worthless or incapable, but because they learn to react instead of lead their own lives. They spend first and think later. They consume before they create. They react to emotion instead of following principle. They make decisions in the moment without considering the future cost. One small decision does not ruin a life, but repeated careless decisions create a pattern, and a pattern becomes a lifestyle. A lifestyle becomes a result. The rich become richer for many reasons, and not every reason is simple. Some inherit assets, some receive help, some start with networks and education others never had, but one powerful reason stands above the rest. They often understand responsibility better than those who stay stuck. They pay attention, they measure, they plan, they delay pleasure when needed. They study consequences before acting. They do not treat money like a toy. They treat it like a tool, and tools respond best to discipline. Responsibility begins in the smallest moments. It begins when you open your eyes in the morning and decide whether your day will be ruled by comfort or purpose. It begins when you choose whether to stay in bed scrolling through noise or get up and face your life with clarity. It begins when you decide what kind of food to buy, what kind of words to speak, what kind of people to follow, What kind of habits to repeat? These small decisions shape your income more than many people realize. A person with responsibility does not waste time pretending that money problems only come from low income. Low income is a real challenge. But spending habits can destroy any income. A person who earns a lot and spends everything still lives with poverty in the mind and in the bank account. A person who earns little but controls every coin begins to build strength. Responsibility means looking honestly at where your money goes. Not with shame. Not with panic. With calm attention. If you do not know where your money is going, then your money is leading you. That is not freedom. That is confusion. One of the most honest habits you can develop is tracking your choices. Write down what you earn. Write down what you spend. Notice where your money disappears. You may find that it is not vanishing through one big disaster. It may be leaking through daily habits. A drink here, a snack there, a ride you did not need, a purchase made to feel better for 10 minutes, a subscription forgotten, a habit repeated because it was easy. Responsibility means facing those leaks with steady eyes. The goal is not self-hatred. The goal is control. Control is freedom. People often think freedom means doing whatever feels good. That is not freedom. That is surrender. Real freedom is the ability to say no to impulse and yes to what matters. It is the ability to pause before spending, to pause before borrowing, to pause before quitting, to pause before blaming. In that pause lives your power. A person who can pause can choose. A person who can choose can grow. There is dignity in choosing discipline. Discipline may not always feel pleasant, but it protects your future. It is easy to spend on comfort today and suffer later. It is harder to sacrifice today for stability later, yet that harder path is often the wiser one. A responsible person understands this. They know that every action carries a cost. Even inaction carries a cost. Avoiding hard decisions does not remove the problem. It only delays the pain and often makes it larger. Many people grow up without being taught how to handle money. They learn by watching others. They inherit habits without realizing it. They copy emotional spending. They copy fear. They copy pride. They copy silence around money. But the fact that you learned something early does not mean it must stay with you forever. You are not trapped by your upbringing. You can examine what you inherited and keep what is useful while discarding what is harmful. That is maturity. That is responsibility in action. A responsible person asks harder questions. What am I trying to prove with this purchase? What pain am I trying to escape? Why do I keep spending when I know I need to save? Why do I keep telling myself that I will fix it later? Why do I avoid checking my balance? These questions can be uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to change. The moment you face the real reason behind a habit, you stop being controlled by it. Responsibility also means owning your time. Many financial failures begin as time failures. Wasted hours become wasted opportunities. A person who spends all day consuming content but never building a skill may feel busy but is not moving forward. A person who sleeps too long, complains too much, delays important work, avoids planning, avoids effort. That person is paying with time, and time is the one resource that never returns. Look closely at your daily routine. What time do you wake up? How quickly do you begin useful work? How much of your day is spent on things that help your future? How much is spent on distraction? Responsibility turns the mirror toward your own habits. It does not ask, why are they doing better than me? It asks, what am I doing each day that brings me closer to where I want to be? That question creates movement. Comparison creates frustration. Responsibility creates action. There is no shame in starting from a difficult place. Many strong people begin with little. What matters is whether they use their condition as a reason to improve or as a shelter for excuses. Some people turn pain into purpose. Others turn pain into blame. One path builds character. The other deepens weakness. Responsibility chooses purpose. When you accept responsibility, you stop expecting life to become easier before you become wiser. You stop waiting for motivation to appear before you act. You stop needing perfect conditions before you begin. You understand that change often starts in discomfort. A cold morning, a tight budget, a difficult conversation, a decision to say no, a decision to study, a decision to work when nobody is watching. These moments form your future in silence. A responsible person builds a relationship with reality. Reality does not care about wishes. Reality responds to action. If you want more money, then you must create more value. If you want better opportunities, then you must become more useful. If you want respect, then you must act with integrity. If you want stability, then you must stop making reckless decisions. If you want peace, then you must reduce chaos. This is not punishment. This is how life works. Many people say they want success, but they continue living in ways that reject success. They want growth but refuse correction. They want financial peace but keep spending emotionally. They want wealth but avoid learning. They want freedom but refuse discipline. Responsibility brings these contradictions into the light. It asks you to align your behavior with your goals. Not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready. Now. Start by watching your words. The way you talk about money reveals the way you think about money. If you always say, "I can't," your mind begins to shut doors before you even look at them. If you always say, "It is impossible," you stop searching for options. Responsibility changes the language. It does not pretend that challenges are small. It simply refuses to surrender before the battle begins. Instead of saying, "I am stuck," say, "I need a better plan." Instead of saying, "I am always unlucky," say, "I need better habits." Instead of saying, "This is just how my life is," say, "This is where I am now and I will improve from here." A new life starts with honest speech. Honest speech leads to honest action. Honest action creates trust. Trust in yourself is priceless. Many people do not fail because the world has no opportunities. They fail because they no longer trust their own promises. They say they will save and then spend. They say they will study and then quit. They say they will start and then delay. Every broken promise weakens the spirit. Every kept promise strengthens it. Responsibility means becoming a person whose word has weight. If your word matters to you, then your life begins to change. Make small promises and keep them. Save a little each week. Wake up when you said you would. Read for a set time each day. Reduce one unnecessary expense. Finish one important task before entertainment. These small victories may look ordinary, but they are rebuilding your identity. Wealth grows best in a person who can be trusted with small things. Responsibility is not only about money. It touches your health. Your body affects your earning power. A tired mind makes poor choices. A neglected body lowers energy. A confused schedule drains discipline. Eating badly, sleeping badly, sitting too long, living in constant stress. These habits eventually show up in your finances because they reduce your ability to work well and think clearly. Taking responsibility means caring for your body as part of your future. Drink water, move your body, rest properly, protect your energy. This is not vanity. This is strategy. It also means protecting your mind. Guard what enters it. Not every voice deserves your attention. Not every trend deserves your time. Not every opinion deserves your agreement. Some content pushes people toward envy, laziness, and impulsive spending. Some conversations keep people trapped in defeat. Choose your inputs carefully. A responsible mind is fed by wisdom, not noise. Read books that teach useful lessons. Listen to people who have built something. Learn from those who value discipline. Fill your mind with ideas that strengthen your judgment. Responsibility grows when you learn to delay gratification. This is one of the most important habits in financial life. The ability to wait is powerful. A person who can wait can save. A person who can wait can invest. A person who can wait can build. A person who cannot wait will often spend on temporary pleasure and call it a reward. But repeated rewards given too early become chains. Real reward comes from creating something valuable and preserving it. Think about the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is fast and emotional. Response is calm and chosen. A reaction says yes to what feels good now. A response asks what serves the future. A reaction can empty your wallet. A response can secure your future. Responsibility trains you to respond instead of react. That is how adults move through life with steadiness. This does not mean becoming cold or refusing all enjoyment. It means understanding order. It means putting essentials before extras. It means securing the base before decorating the house. Feed yourself. Pay what matters. Save what you can. Learn what you need. Then enjoy in a measured way. A life built on order is far easier to improve than a life built on impulse. Responsibility also means facing the truth about debt. Debt can be a tool in some situations, but for many people it becomes a trap, because they borrow to maintain a lifestyle they cannot afford. They buy now and feel the cost later. They carry stress from one month to the next. They live with a hidden weight that steals peace. Taking responsibility means asking whether a debt is helping you build or merely helping you delay pain. Delay is not the same as progress. A responsible person respects future consequences. There is also responsibility in relationships. The people around you shape your decisions more than you may realize. If you spend time with those who complain constantly, then your thinking may become weak. If you spend time with those who celebrate reckless spending, then you may repeat it. If you spend time with those who chase image more than substance, then you may learn to do the same. Responsibility means choosing your circle with care. This is not about being superior. It is about protecting your mind and your habits. Seek people who speak truth, people who work hard, people who respect time, people who encourage growth without feeding pride. The moment you take responsibility, you stop waiting for someone else to fix your life. That is when power returns. It may feel lonely at first because excuses often come with comfort. Blame can feel like a soft pillow. Responsibility feels like waking up, but waking up is how life begins. Once you are awake, you can see. Once you can see, you can choose. Once you can choose, you can move. Some people fear responsibility because they think it means self-attack. It does not. Responsibility is not cruelty. It is clarity. It says, "This part is mine. I will deal with it." That sentence can change years of confusion. It removes the fog. It gives direction. It stops the endless search for someone else to carry the load. When you stop blaming circumstances, you do not deny them. You simply refuse to let them define you. A hard childhood matters. A low-income neighborhood matters. A weak school system matters. A lack of opportunity matters. But none of those things has the final word unless you surrender to them. Your future is shaped by both what happened to you and what you do with what happened. That second part is where responsibility lives. Build a habit of review. At the end of each day, ask yourself what choices helped you and what choices hurt you. Do not make this a theater of guilt. Make it a quiet accounting. Where did I waste money? Where did I waste time? Where did I choose discipline? Where did I avoid truth? Where did I move closer to the life I want? This kind of review sharpens the mind. Repeated daily, it becomes a compass. There will be days when progress feels slow. There will be days when you slip. There will be moments when old habits return. That does not mean you are failing. It means you are human. Responsibility does not demand perfection. It demands honesty and correction. When you fall short, do not hide. Adjust, learn, continue. A resilient person does not build identity around one bad day. They build identity around the decision to keep going. Money is not only about numbers. It is also about character. The way you handle a small amount reveals how you will handle a larger one. If you are careless with little, you may be careless with much. If you are honest with little, you are preparing yourself for more. Responsibility in small matters prepares you for larger ones. That is why the person who tracks a few dollars today may be trusted with thousands tomorrow. You must also become comfortable with accountability. Find ways to be answerable. Share your goals with someone reliable. Set deadlines. Keep records. Create systems. A system makes it harder to lie to yourself. It turns vague intentions into visible action. The mind is skilled at making promises and forgetting them. Systems keep promises alive. Responsibility loves structure. There is deep peace in living this way, not because the work disappears, but because confusion disappears. You know where your money is going. You know what your day is for. You know what you are building. You know what you are avoiding. You know where your weaknesses are and where your strength is growing. Peace is not the absence of pressure. It is the presence of order. Every day offers a choice. You can continue as before and let old patterns guide you, or you can become deliberate. You can choose one wise action and repeat it until it becomes part of you. Save a little. Do honest work, protect your time, reduce waste, speak truth, keep your promises, improve one habit, repeat tomorrow. This is how lives change, not all at once, not by fantasy, by steady responsibility. The person who accepts responsibility becomes difficult to defeat because they are no longer split against themselves. Their thoughts, words, and actions begin to move in the same direction. Their energy becomes focused. Their money becomes more useful. Their time becomes more valuable. Their confidence becomes earned. Their future becomes visible. You do not need to become someone else to begin this work. You need to become more awake, more honest, more disciplined, more patient, more consistent. You need to treat your life as something sacred enough to manage well. That means no more careless spending without thought. No more living in reaction. No more pretending tomorrow will clean up today. Tomorrow will only become better if today is handled with wisdom. Start now with what is in your hands. Look at your expenses. Look at your habits. Look at your time. Look at your promises. Look at your circle. Look at your attitude toward work and learning. Where there is waste, reduce it. Where there is confusion, bring order. Where there is weakness, build strength. Where there is fear, practice courage. Where there is delay, take action. Responsibility is not a punishment for being poor. It is the first tool for leaving poverty behind. It teaches you that your life can change because your choices can change. It reminds you that no one will live with the consequences for you. It puts authority back where it belongs, in your hands, in your mind, in your discipline, in your daily actions. A better future does not begin with a miracle. It begins with a decision. The decision to stop blaming and start building. The decision to stop drifting and start directing. The decision to stop asking why life is unfair and start asking what can be done today. That question is powerful because it opens the door to movement. And movement creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence creates better choices. Better choices create a better life. Hold yourself to a higher standard, not because you are worthless now, but because you are capable of more. The life you want will not be built by excuses. It will be built by ownership. Own your habits. Own your spending. Own your time. Own your failures. Own your next move. That is where transformation starts. Keep going even when the process feels slow. Keep going even when no one applauds. Keep going even when old voices tell you that change is impossible. Keep going because your future deserves your best effort. Keep going because dignity is built through discipline. Keep going because responsibility is not just a rule for money. It is a way of becoming a strong and trustworthy human being. And when the day comes that you look back and see how far you have moved from confusion to clarity, you will understand something valuable. You were never waiting for life to begin. Life began the moment you decided to take it seriously. Chapter 20. Build disciplined habits that create consistent financial progress. Disciplined habits are the quiet force behind every lasting change in money and life. Many people look for a sudden breakthrough. They wait for a lucky moment. They hope one big decision will fix everything. It rarely works that way. Real progress is usually built through repeated actions that seem small on their own, but become powerful when they are repeated with care. A disciplined person understands that the future is shaped in ordinary hours. What you do when nobody is watching matters more than what you promise when emotions are high. Financial progress is not only about earning more, it is also about behaving in a way that allows growth to stay in your life. A person may receive extra income and still remain trapped because the habits around that income never changed. Another person may earn modestly and still build strength because daily discipline protects every step forward. The difference is not always talent. It is often consistency. Consistency is what turns effort into results. A disciplined habit begins with structure. Without structure, the day becomes scattered. Scattered days create scattered finances. When your waking time changes every day and your priorities change every hour, and your spending changes with your mood, then your life becomes hard to direct. Discipline gives your day a shape. It tells your mind what comes first. It removes confusion. It helps you act with purpose instead of drift with impulse. Start with a simple morning pattern that supports your goals. Wake up at a steady time. Take a few quiet minutes to think before the noise of the day begins. Look at your responsibilities. Check your schedule. Decide what must be done before anything unnecessary gets your attention. This may sound simple, but many people never do it. They wake up and immediately hand their mind to distraction, social media, messages, random thoughts, other people's emergencies. By the time the day begins in full, they are already behind. Discipline stops that pattern. It puts you in charge before the world starts pulling at you. A strong habit is not built in one dramatic moment. It is built by repetition. Repetition trains the body and the mind to move without constant resistance. Saving money is a habit. Reading is a habit. Planning expenses is a habit. Working with focus is a habit. Avoiding unnecessary purchases is a habit. Every one of these actions becomes easier when practiced regularly. At first it may feel unnatural. Later it feels normal. That is how progress takes root. The mind resists what is new but begins to respect what is repeated. One of the best habits for financial progress is writing things down. Keep a small record of what enters and leaves your hands. Write your income. Write your bills. Write your spending. Write your goals. Writing makes things real. It turns vague ideas into visible facts. Many people say they want better money habits, but they have no clear picture of where they stand. A disciplined person does not live in vagueness. They want to know the truth. That truth may be uncomfortable at first, but it is the beginning of control. Another vital habit is delayed spending. A disciplined person does not buy the first thing that appears attractive. They pause. They think. They ask whether the purchase serves the life they are trying to build. This pause protects the future. Many poor decisions are made in minutes and felt for months. A moment of patience can prevent a long season of regret. When you train yourself to wait before buying, you become stronger than the pressure of the moment. That strength is worth more than the item itself. Habits also shape how you respond to tiredness. There will be days when your energy is low. There will be days when the work feels heavy. There will be days when comfort seems louder than discipline. This is where character is formed. A disciplined person does not wait to feel perfect before acting. They learn to move with steady effort, even when the mood is low. That does not mean forcing yourself into harm. It means refusing to let weakness become your master. Small action on difficult days often protects larger success later. You can build this by creating non-negotiable rules for yourself. Decide that a portion of your income will be saved before anything else is spent. Decide that you will review your expenses once a week. Decide that you will spend a set amount of time learning a skill that can improve your income. Decide that you will avoid impulse purchases for a full day before making a choice. These rules should be simple enough to keep and strong enough to matter. Discipline grows when rules are clear. A habit becomes powerful when it is tied to a reason. Saving money is easier when you know what it is for. Learning a skill becomes easier when you see how it can change your life. Reducing waste becomes easier when you connect it to peace and freedom. People struggle when they live by vague desire. They improve when they connect action to purpose. Ask yourself often why this habit matters. That answer will help you stay steady when motivation fades. The poor often remain trapped because their daily habits are built around reaction. They react to stress by spending. They react to boredom by consuming. They react to pressure by avoiding. They react to fear by freezing. These patterns may bring temporary relief, but they weaken the future. Discipline teaches a better response. It teaches you to breathe before acting, to think before spending, to work before resting, to study before speaking, to plan before reacting. This change in response can transform your financial life more than people realize. There is also strength in routine. A routine does not mean living without freedom. It means placing your life on rails that support progress. A routine protects your best energy for important work. It keeps you from deciding everything again and again from scratch. It lowers confusion. It reduces wasted effort. When you know when you will work, when you will review your finances, when you will rest, and when you will learn, you save energy for action instead of decision fatigue. This is wisdom, not excitement. Wisdom. Many people fail because they treat habits like temporary projects. They try a new routine for a few days, then abandon it when life becomes hard. Discipline does not work that way. It grows slowly. It survives inconvenience. It adapts without quitting. If one day is lost, the habit is not dead. Return the next day. If 1 week is weak, do not surrender the month. Continue. Strength comes from returning, not from never stumbling. One powerful habit is choosing simple living. Simple living does not mean a life without joy. It means learning to be content without constant excess. It means using money with care. It means refusing to chase every trend or imitate every image. A person who is always trying to look rich often stays poor. A person who lives with quiet discipline builds genuine strength. This kind of life may not attract attention at first, but it creates room to grow. Another useful habit is surrounding your private moments with order. A messy environment often feeds a messy mind. Clean your space. Keep important papers in one place. Reduce clutter. Make it easier to focus. When your surroundings are calm, your thinking becomes clearer. When your thinking becomes clearer, your money decisions improve. This may seem small, but small things shape daily behavior more than people admit. Discipline also includes rest. Rest is not laziness when it is chosen wisely. A tired mind makes weak choices. A person who never pauses eventually loses focus. Build a habit of real rest that renews you rather than drains you. Sleep enough. Step away from noise. Give your mind space to recover. The goal is not to push until collapse. The goal is steady progress that can last. Long success depends on sustainable habits. A strong financial life is often built on ordinary actions repeated with care. Cook at home more often. Carry a clear budget. Avoid lending money carelessly. Read one useful page each day. Improve one skill at a time. Keep promises to yourself. Review your goals often. These actions may seem too plain to be powerful, but they are the foundation of lasting improvement. Grand results usually stand on plain habits. Discipline becomes easier when you measure progress. Do not rely only on feelings. Feelings change too quickly. Track the habits you keep. Note the days you saved. Note the days you avoided waste. Note the books you finished. Note the skills you practiced. Progress that is seen becomes easier to continue. Measurement gives you proof that your effort matters. That proof strengthens commitment. There will be moments when discipline feels like a fight against your own mind. In those moments, remember that freedom is often built through limits. The person who can tell themselves no today gains the power to say yes to a better tomorrow. Every controlled choice makes the next good choice easier. Every ignored impulse makes the next temptation stronger. Your habits are training your future self right now. You do not need a perfect beginning. You need a committed one. Choose one habit and protect it. Let it become part of your identity. Then add another. Do not build a life on excitement. Build it on repeated truth. Show up, save, learn, plan, work with focus, rest with intention, spend with wisdom, return to the path each day. This is how financial progress becomes stable instead of accidental. A disciplined life may not always feel dramatic, but it creates deep confidence. You begin to trust yourself. You know what you will do. You know what you will avoid. You know that your future is being shaped by intention rather than chance. That confidence is priceless because it stops fear from making your decisions. Discipline gives you a backbone. It makes you harder to shake. Keep building. Keep repeating what is right. Keep strengthening the habits that protect your money and your mind. A small disciplined action today can become a major difference later. What matters most is not how impressive your start looks. What matters is whether your daily habits are carrying you forward. They will if you guard them carefully. They will if you repeat them faithfully. They will if you respect the quiet power of discipline. Chapter 30. Learn valuable skills that increase income opportunities. Income rarely grows by accident. It grows when a person becomes more useful. The world rewards value. When you learn something that solves problems, improves efficiency, or creates results, your opportunities begin to expand. This is one of the clearest differences between those who remain stuck and those who steadily move forward. One group waits for better pay. The other group becomes more capable until better pay becomes difficult to deny. Many people spend years doing the same tasks without improving their abilities. They work hard but do not grow. They become comfortable with routine but not with learning. Over time, this creates a ceiling. When income stops rising, frustration grows. The person feels trapped. They begin to believe that opportunity is limited. In reality, their skill level has stopped expanding. Growth in income often follows growth in ability. When ability increases, when options increase, confidence grows. This is a powerful chain reaction. Learning valuable skills does not require perfect conditions. It requires curiosity, discipline, and patience. Skills can be developed slowly. 1 hour a day is enough to begin. 30 minutes a day is enough to begin. Even 15 minutes of focused learning can build momentum. The key is consistency. Skill building is not about speed. It is about steady accumulation. A few months of focused learning can separate you from where you started. A few years can transform your life. Start by asking what problems exist around you. Valuable skills often solve real needs. Businesses need communication. Organizations need organization. People need technology support. Companies need marketing. Communities need teaching. Customers need solutions. When you learn something that makes life easier for others, you become valuable. Value attracts income. This principle is simple but powerful. Another important truth is that valuable skills often begin with simple foundations. Communication is valuable. Writing clearly is valuable. Listening carefully is valuable. Problem solving is valuable. These abilities may seem ordinary, yet they are rare when practiced with discipline. Many people speak without clarity. Many write without purpose. Many avoid solving problems. A person who builds strength in these areas becomes dependable. Dependable people are trusted. Trust leads to opportunity. Technology skills have become especially valuable in modern life. Learning basic computer knowledge, digital communication, online tools, or content creation can open doors. You do not need to master everything at once. Choose one area and build gradually. Learn how to organize information. Learn how to create documents. Learn how to manage online communication. Learn how to support small businesses with digital tools. These abilities can be learned step by step. The internet has made knowledge widely available. The challenge is not access. The challenge is discipline. Another path to valuable skills is improving your current job abilities. Instead of treating work as a fixed role, treat it as training. Observe what makes someone more effective. Notice what your employer values. Learn tasks that others avoid. Volunteer to handle responsibilities that stretch your abilities. This approach builds competence. Competence builds trust. Trust often leads to promotion or new opportunities. A person who constantly improves becomes difficult to ignore. Some people hesitate to learn new skills because they fear failure. They worry about looking inexperienced. They worry about making mistakes. This fear slows growth. Every expert was once inexperienced. Every skilled person once struggled. The difference is that they accepted discomfort as part of progress. Learning something new requires humility. It requires patience. It requires willingness to be slow at first. This temporary discomfort is the price of long-term strength. Valuable skills also include financial knowledge. Understanding budgeting, saving, investing, and planning increases control. Many people focus only on earning but ignore managing. When both earning and managing improve together, financial growth becomes stronger. Learning how money works helps you avoid costly mistakes. It also helps you recognize opportunities. Knowledge reduces fear. It replaces confusion with clarity. Reading is one of the simplest ways to build skill. Books offer ideas from people who spent years learning. Reading regularly exposes you to strategies, lessons, and perspectives. Even a few pages each day can create change over time. Reading trains the mind to think more carefully. It sharpens judgment. It improves communication. These improvements increase value in any field. Another valuable habit is practicing what you learn. Knowledge without action fades quickly. Skill grows when learning meets repetition. If you study communication, practice speaking clearly. If you study writing, write daily. If you learn technology, use it often. Practice turns information into ability. Ability creates confidence. Confidence attracts opportunity. You can also learn by observing others. Watch people who perform well. Notice their habits. Study how they solve problems. Pay attention to their discipline. Observation is a powerful teacher. You do not need to copy everything. You can adapt what works. Learning from others shortens your path. It helps you avoid mistakes. It shows what excellence looks like. Time management is another valuable skill. A person who manages time well becomes reliable. Reliability builds trust. Trust leads to responsibility. Responsibility often leads to increased income. Learn to prioritize important tasks. Reduce distractions. Finish what you start. These habits strengthen your professional reputation. Reputation often determines opportunity. Another important skill is adaptability. The world changes quickly. New tools appear. Industries shift. Skills that were valuable yesterday may become less useful tomorrow. A person who keeps learning stays relevant. A person who stops learning risks being left behind. Adaptability is not about chasing every trend. It is about staying open to growth. It is about remaining curious. You should also develop interpersonal skills. The ability to work with others is highly valuable. Listen carefully. Speak respectfully. Solve conflicts calmly. Offer help when possible. These behaviors create strong relationships. Strong relationships lead to collaboration. Collaboration often creates new opportunities. People prefer working with those who are steady and respectful. Another path to valuable skills is learning how to sell. Selling is not manipulation. It is the ability to explain value. When you can present ideas clearly, you increase your influence. This skill applies in many areas: job interviews, business proposals, negotiations, everyday conversations. A person who communicates value effectively often earns more. Learning valuable skills also builds confidence. When you know you can create value, fear decreases. You are less dependent on a single opportunity. You understand that you can adapt and grow. This confidence is calm and steady. It is not arrogance. It comes from preparation. Preparation strengthens your position in uncertain times. It is also important to focus on one skill at a time. Trying to learn too many things can create confusion. Choose one area and build a foundation. Once you gain comfort, expand gradually. This focused approach leads to deeper ability. Deep ability is often more valuable than shallow knowledge in many areas. Learning should become part of your daily routine. Dedicate time each day. Protect that time. Treat it as an investment. Over weeks and months, this habit creates noticeable change. Small improvements accumulate. Eventually, your abilities begin to stand out. This is how opportunities increase naturally. Do not wait for someone else to push you. Take initiative. Search for knowledge. Practice consistently. Seek feedback. Adjust your approach. This proactive attitude separates those who grow from those who remain stuck. Initiative shows responsibility. It shows determination. It signals readiness for opportunity. Learning valuable skills also prepares you for unexpected changes. Jobs may disappear. Industries may shift. A person with diverse abilities adapts more easily. This flexibility reduces fear. It increases resilience. It protects your financial future. Skill building is not only about growth, it is also about security. Patience is important in this process. Skill building takes time. Progress may feel slow at first. Continue anyway. Improvement compounds quietly. One day you realize that tasks once difficult have become easy. This moment is rewarding. It confirms that discipline works. Avoid comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Focus on your path. Measure progress against your past. Growth is personal. Stay committed. Keep learning. Keep practicing. Keep improving. These simple actions lead to lasting change. Your income often reflects your usefulness. Increase your usefulness and your income potential grows. This principle is steady and reliable. Learning valuable skills is one of the most practical paths to financial progress. It places control in your hands. It builds confidence. It expands opportunity. Commit to learning today. Choose one skill. Begin with patience. Practice with discipline. Improve gradually. Over time, you will notice doors opening. You will notice confidence growing. You will notice stability increasing. Valuable skills create lasting strength. They empower you to shape your financial future with intention and purpose. Chapter 40. Track every expense to control spending behavior. Money often disappears quietly. It slips away in small amounts that feel harmless in the moment. A quick purchase during a busy day, a spontaneous order when tired, a small upgrade that seemed justified. None of these moments appear dangerous on their own. Yet over time they shape your financial direction. The problem is not always a lack of income. The problem is often a lack of awareness. When you do not see where your money goes, you cannot guide it. When you track every expense, you take control of your behavior and your future. Tracking expenses is not about restriction alone. It is about clarity. Clarity brings calm. When you know exactly how much you spend and why you spend it, you remove uncertainty. Many people feel stress around money because they live in guesswork. They estimate their spending. They assume they are careful. They believe they remember everything. Human memory is unreliable. Tracking replaces guesswork with facts. Facts give you power. The act of tracking begins with attention. Every time money leaves your hand, write it down. It does not matter whether the amount is large or small. The habit itself is what matters. A small notebook works. A simple note on your phone works. A spreadsheet works. The method is less important than the consistency. When you record expenses daily, you create a clear picture of your financial behavior. That picture may surprise you. Many people discover that small daily spending creates a larger impact than they expected. Tracking expenses also reveals emotional patterns. Spending is often influenced by mood. Some people spend when they feel stressed. Others spend when they feel bored. Some spend to celebrate. Others spend to escape discomfort. These patterns remain hidden until you observe them. When you track expenses, you begin to see connections. You notice that certain days bring higher spending. You notice that certain situations lead to impulse purchases. This awareness allows you to adjust your behavior with intention. A disciplined approach to tracking expenses builds honesty. You stop avoiding reality. You stop pretending that things will improve without effort. You face numbers calmly. This honesty may feel uncomfortable at first, yet discomfort often leads to growth. When you understand your financial habits, you gain the ability to reshape them. Ignorance keeps you stuck. Awareness opens the door to change. Another benefit of tracking expenses is improved decision-making. When you know where your money goes, you can choose what matters most. You can prioritize essentials. You can reduce unnecessary spending. You can allocate funds toward goals that improve your life. Without tracking, these decisions remain vague. With tracking, they become precise. Precision leads to progress. Tracking expenses also strengthens discipline. Each time you record a purchase, you pause. That pause creates space between impulse and action. Over time, this habit reduces careless spending. You become more thoughtful. You begin to ask whether a purchase aligns with your priorities. This shift may seem small, yet it influences every financial decision. Another important advantage is accountability. When you track expenses, you hold yourself responsible. You cannot ignore patterns. You cannot hide from reality. Accountability builds maturity. It encourages you to take ownership of your behavior. This sense of ownership leads to better choices. Many people avoid tracking expenses because they believe it will limit their freedom. In truth, the opposite is often true. When you control spending, you create space for meaningful choices. You can save for experiences that matter. You can prepare for emergencies. You can invest in growth. Freedom grows when waste decreases. Tracking expenses helps you reduce waste. It is helpful to review your expenses regularly. Set aside time each week to examine your records. Look for patterns. Notice areas where spending increased. Identify categories that can be adjusted. This review process turns tracking into strategy. You move beyond observation and begin shaping your financial direction. You may find that certain expenses are necessary and reasonable. Others may appear excessive. The goal is not perfection. The goal is improvement. Even small adjustments create meaningful change over time. Reducing a few unnecessary purchases each week can lead to significant savings. Consistency matters more than dramatic cuts. Tracking expenses also prepares you for future planning. When you understand your spending patterns, you can create realistic budgets. Budgets built on accurate data are easier to follow. They reflect your real life rather than ideal assumptions. Realistic budgets support long-term success. Another benefit is reduced financial stress. Uncertainty creates anxiety. When you track expenses, you gain clarity. You know what to expect. You know where adjustments are possible. This knowledge brings peace of mind. Calm decision-making becomes easier. Tracking also builds patience. You begin to appreciate gradual progress. Instead of seeking quick solutions, you focus on steady improvement. This mindset supports long-term financial health. Patience encourages thoughtful choices. It is important to remain consistent. Tracking for a few days is helpful but not transformative. Tracking for weeks and months builds meaningful insight. Make it part of your routine. Record expenses at the same time each day. This habit becomes easier with repetition. You may also involve your family if applicable. Shared awareness improves collective discipline. When everyone understands spending patterns, cooperation increases. This approach strengthens financial stability. Technology can assist your tracking process. Many apps allow you to categorize expenses automatically. Choose tools that match your preferences. Simplicity encourages consistency. Avoid complex systems that create frustration. Another powerful result of tracking expenses is increased gratitude. When you observe where your money goes, you become more mindful of what you have. You appreciate essentials. You value purposeful spending. Gratitude supports contentment. Contentment reduces impulsive behavior. Tracking expenses also supports long-term goals. When you see progress in saving or reducing waste, motivation grows. Progress reinforces discipline. Discipline leads to stronger habits. These habits shape your financial future. Some days you may forget to track. Do not allow this to discourage you. Return to the habit the next day. Consistency over time matters more than perfection. Progress is built through persistence. As you continue tracking expenses, your awareness deepens. You become more intentional. You recognize opportunities to improve. You feel more confident in your financial decisions. This confidence supports long-term growth. Tracking expenses is a simple practice with powerful results. It brings clarity, discipline, and control. It helps you align your spending with your values. It transforms small decisions into meaningful progress. With patience and consistency, this habit can reshape your financial life. Every recorded expense becomes a step toward awareness. Every review becomes an opportunity to adjust. Every adjustment becomes progress. Over time, these steps create lasting change. By tracking every expense, you guide your money with purpose and build a foundation for financial stability. Chapter 5D: Invest consistently to build long-term wealth. Wealth rarely appears through sudden events. It is usually built through patience, discipline, and consistency. Many people focus only on earning money, yet earning alone does not create lasting financial strength. Money that is earned and spent disappears quickly. Money that is earned and invested begins to grow. This difference separates those who remain in survival mode from those who gradually build security and independence. Consistent investing is not reserved for those who already have large amounts of money. It begins with small steps. A modest amount invested regularly can create meaningful results over time. The key is not the size of the first investment. The key is the habit of investing itself. When you invest consistently, you send a message to your future that you are planning ahead. You are not only thinking about today. You are preparing for tomorrow. Many people avoid investing because they believe they need to understand everything before they begin. This belief delays progress. Learning is important, but waiting for perfect knowledge often becomes an excuse. It is better to start with simple options and learn gradually. Investing does not require complexity at the beginning. It requires discipline and patience. Small investments made regularly can teach valuable lessons and build confidence. Consistency is powerful because it removes emotion from the process. When you invest at regular intervals, you stop trying to predict perfect timing. You stop worrying about short-term fluctuations. Instead, you focus on long-term growth. This approach reduces stress and encourages stability. It helps you remain calm during uncertainty. Calm decisions often lead to better outcomes. Another important benefit of consistent investing is compound growth. When you invest regularly, your returns begin to generate additional returns. Over time, this creates momentum. Growth builds upon growth. This process rewards patience. Many people underestimate how powerful steady investing can become over years. The earlier you begin, the more time works in your favor. Consistent investing also strengthens discipline. Each time you invest, you reinforce your commitment to long-term goals. You learn to prioritize future security over temporary pleasure. This mindset supports financial maturity. It teaches you to think beyond immediate desires. This shift in thinking influences many areas of life. Another advantage is reduced reliance on single sources of income. Investments create additional pathways for growth. While your primary income supports daily needs, investments work quietly in the background. Over time, this balance increases stability. It reduces vulnerability to unexpected changes. A person with multiple sources of growth feels more secure. Patience is essential in this journey. Markets move up and down. Short-term changes are normal. A disciplined investor focuses on long-term direction. Panic leads to poor decisions. Patience protects progress. When you understand that investing is a long-term process, you remain calm during fluctuations. This calmness supports wise decision-making. It is also important to invest within your means. Avoid stretching your finances too thin. Consistency matters more than size. A manageable amount invested regularly builds confidence. Confidence encourages continuation. Over time, you may increase contributions as your income grows. Gradual growth is sustainable. Learning about different investment options is valuable. Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, and other opportunities offer different benefits. Start with simple approaches that match your comfort level. Research carefully. Seek reliable information. Avoid rushing into decisions based on hype. Thoughtful investing protects your future. Another important principle is diversification. Spreading investments across different areas reduces risk. This approach protects against unexpected changes. Diversification creates balance. It supports long-term stability. A disciplined investor understands the value of balance. Consistent investing also requires emotional control. Greed and fear can influence decisions. Greed encourages risky behavior. Fear encourages withdrawal at the wrong time. A steady mindset helps you remain focused. Discipline protects you from emotional swings. This emotional stability is a valuable skill. It is helpful to set clear goals for your investments. Define why you are investing. Retirement, education, financial independence, emergency security. Goals provide direction. Direction supports commitment. When you connect investing to meaningful objectives, motivation increases. Tracking your investments is also important. Review performance periodically. Adjust when necessary. Avoid checking too frequently. Constant monitoring can create unnecessary stress. Balanced review supports calm decision-making. Another valuable habit is reinvesting returns. Instead of spending gains immediately, allow them to continue growing. Reinvestment accelerates compound growth. This approach strengthens long-term results. Patience multiplies progress. Consistency also builds confidence. As your investments grow, you gain trust in the process. Confidence encourages continued participation. Continued participation strengthens outcomes. This cycle supports long-term success. It is important to remain cautious of unrealistic promises. Quick profits often carry high risk. Sustainable wealth is built gradually. Avoid decisions driven by excitement. Focus on steady progress. Discipline protects you from costly mistakes. Investing also teaches resilience. There will be periods of uncertainty. These moments test patience. A disciplined investor remains focused. Resilience strengthens character. Character supports long-term growth. Education plays an important role in investing. Continue learning. Read books. Study market principles. Observe trends. Knowledge improves judgment. Improved judgment supports wise decisions. Another key aspect is starting early. Time is one of the greatest advantages in investing. The earlier you begin, the longer your investments have to grow. Even small amounts can become significant over time. Delaying reduces this advantage. Starting early builds momentum. Consistency also simplifies decision-making. When investing becomes routine, you reduce hesitation. Routine encourages discipline. Discipline supports stability. Stability leads to growth. It is helpful to automate investments when possible. Automation reduces reliance on memory. It ensures regular contributions. Automation supports consistency. Consistency supports long-term success. Investing consistently also builds independence. Over time, your investments contribute to financial security. This security provides flexibility. Flexibility creates freedom. Freedom allows you to make decisions based on values rather than necessity. Another benefit is peace of mind. Knowing that you are preparing for the future reduces anxiety. Preparation builds confidence. Confidence improves decision-making. Calm thinking supports better outcomes. Consistency is the foundation of wealth building. Small steps taken regularly create lasting change. Investing consistently transforms income into growth. Growth creates stability. Stability supports independence. Begin with patience. Choose a simple approach. Invest regularly. Stay disciplined. Learn continuously. Over time, these actions create meaningful results. Consistent investing is not about speed. It is about steady progress. This progress builds long-term wealth and lasting financial strength. Chapter 60. Avoid debt that destroys future financial freedom. Debt is one of the most dangerous traps in financial life because it often begins with comfort and ends with pressure. It can look harmless at first. A purchase made before the money is available. A payment delayed into the next month. A promise to handle it later. Then the balance grows. The interest grows. The stress grows. What once felt like relief begins to feel like a chain. That is why avoiding destructive debt is not only a money decision. It is a decision about freedom. It is a decision about peace. It is a decision about the kind of future you want to live in. Many people borrow without first asking what the debt will take from them. They focus on what it gives today and ignore what it demands tomorrow. That kind of thinking creates trouble. A person can feel richer for a moment while becoming weaker in reality. Debt that is used carelessly steals options. It reduces room for saving. It limits flexibility. It adds pressure to every month. It can turn a normal income into a life of struggle because too much of the money is already spoken for before it arrives. This is why discipline matters so much. A responsible person learns to pause before borrowing. They ask whether the debt will create value or only postpone pain. They ask whether it will help build an asset or simply fund a habit. They ask whether it will improve their position or make tomorrow heavier. These questions are simple but powerful. They protect you from making emotional decisions that damage your future. Not all debt is the same. Some debt can be used with care in certain situations, but destructive debt is easy to recognize once you stop ignoring it. It appears when money is borrowed to support spending that does not produce growth. It appears when one loan is taken to cover another. It appears when a person borrows for wants while neglecting needs. It appears when interest payments become a burden that restricts daily life. This kind of debt does not build freedom. It weakens it. A person who respects freedom learns to live within limits. That does not mean living without joy. It means refusing to let impulse control the future. It means understanding that every borrowed amount comes with a cost. The cost may be visible in numbers. It may also appear as stress, lost sleep, anxiety before each bill, fear of checking the balance, shame in front of family, pressure to keep working without rest. Debt does not only affect the wallet, it affects the mind and the body. One of the most valuable habits you can develop is learning to delay purchases until you can afford them. That habit may feel difficult at first because many people have become used to having things before paying for them. Yet there is strength in waiting. Waiting teaches control. Waiting protects dignity. Waiting allows you to decide from a position of clarity instead of pressure. A person who can wait grows stronger with every choice they make. It also helps to understand why debt feels attractive. Often it promises immediate relief. It says you can have the item now and deal with the cost later. It offers the feeling of progress without the discipline of saving. That offer is dangerous because it hides the future consequences. In the moment it feels like a solution, later it becomes a burden. A wise person sees through that illusion. They value patience more than instant comfort. Avoiding debt begins with honest budgeting. You need to know what comes in and what goes out. You need to know what is necessary and what is optional. You need to know where your money leaks. A clear budget gives you the power to make decisions without panic. When your spending is under control, you rely less on borrowing. When your habits are stable, you reduce the need for rescue. Budgeting may seem plain, but it is one of the strongest defenses against destructive debt. Another important step is building an emergency reserve. Life brings surprises. Cars break down, health needs appear, work changes, family pressures arise. When there is no savings cushion, these moments can push people into debt quickly. A small reserve gives you breathing room. It creates a buffer between a problem and a loan. Even a modest amount saved consistently can prevent a great deal of stress later. This is why saving and avoiding debt work together. One protects the other. It is also wise to separate needs from wants with brutal honesty. Many debts begin because desire was mistaken for necessity. A person tells themselves that they need an upgrade when they really want status. They borrow for convenience when patience would have served them better. They use credit to maintain a lifestyle that income cannot support. Over time, this creates imbalance. Learn to ask whether something is essential or merely attractive. That question alone can save years of regret. A strong mindset is required here because society often encourages spending beyond your means. Images of luxury are everywhere. Pressure to look successful is constant. People compare their lives to the polished version of others and feel behind. That feeling can lead to borrowing in order to keep up appearances. But appearances are expensive and empty when they are built on debt. Real strength does not need to pretend. Real strength can wait. Real strength can build quietly. Another reason debt becomes destructive is that it steals future choices. Money that could be saved is used for payments. Opportunities that could be taken are missed because obligations are too heavy. A person may want to start a business or move into a better situation, but their debt leaves little room. Freedom shrinks when too much income is already committed. This is why staying out of harmful debt is not just about avoiding pain. It is about preserving possibility. There is wisdom in simplifying life so debt has less power over you. A simpler life requires less borrowing. Fewer unnecessary expenses mean fewer traps. A more modest standard of living often creates more peace than a flashy one supported by pressure. When your life is built around what you truly need, you become harder to manipulate and easier to stabilize. If you already carry debt, then honesty is still the first step. Do not deny it. Do not hide from it. Make a clear plan. Know the total amount. Know the interest. Know the deadlines. Know which debts are most harmful. Create a strategy for reduction. Stop adding new burdens while you work to remove the old ones. Every payment made with purpose is a step toward recovery. Progress may be slow, but slow progress is still progress when it moves you toward freedom. Resilience matters during this process. There may be moments when temptation returns. You may feel tired of restraint. You may wonder why discipline matters so much while others seem to spend freely without consequence. Stay focused on truth. The goal is not to match the habits of people who live carelessly. The goal is to build a life that is steady and unshaken. That kind of life is worth more than temporary applause. When you avoid debt that destroys freedom, you gain something precious. You gain peace in your decisions. You gain room to save. You gain room to invest. You gain room to breathe. You gain the ability to say no without fear. You gain the chance to build wealth from strength rather than from pressure. That is a better way to live. Each day gives you a choice. Borrow for comfort and accept the chain later. Or practice discipline and protect tomorrow. The wiser choice may feel harder now, but it leads to a stronger life. Freedom is often preserved in small, quiet moments when you refuse a purchase you cannot afford. It is preserved when you save instead of spend. It is preserved when you choose patience over impulse. A life free from destructive debt is a life with greater dignity. It is a life where money serves your values instead of controlling your choices. It is a life where the future is not already burdened by today's mistakes. Protect that future carefully. Respect the cost of borrowing. Learn the strength of waiting. Build habits that keep your hands open and your mind clear. That is how financial freedom stays alive. Chapter 70. Develop patience to focus on long-term success. Patience is one of the strongest habits a person can build because it protects the mind from reckless decisions and keeps the heart steady when results take time. Many people lose their way not because they lack talent, but because they cannot tolerate the slow pace of real progress. They want success to arrive quickly. They want money to grow instantly. They want their life to improve before they have built the habits that make improvement last. That rush creates mistakes. It leads to bad choices. It pushes people into shortcuts that feel exciting at first and costly later. Long-term success asks for a different spirit. It asks for restraint. It asks for clear thinking. It asks for the courage to continue when progress feels ordinary. Patience does not mean inactivity. It does not mean sitting still and hoping life changes on its own. It means acting today with trust in the value of time. It means understanding that the strongest results are often quiet at the beginning. A seed does not look impressive when it first enters the ground. Yet with steady care it becomes something far greater than it appeared to be. The same is true of your efforts. What looks small today may shape everything later. Many people suffer because they are ruled by impatience. They want immediate answers. They want immediate rewards. They want immediate comfort. When they do not get what they want fast enough, they become frustrated and careless. They change direction too soon. They quit before the work has time to mature. They interrupt their own growth by expecting overnight transformation. Patience protects you from this trap. It keeps you rooted while your future is still forming. A patient person understands that every worthwhile thing takes a season. A strong career does not appear in a day. A healthy savings habit does not create wealth in a week. A useful skill does not become sharp after one attempt. Trust does not grow from one good action. Character does not become solid through one decision. Everything lasting is built through repetition. Patience gives repetition time to work. One of the greatest lessons in life is learning to respect the pace of development. Growth has stages. Early progress may feel slow and invisible. That can be discouraging if you are measuring only by visible results. But invisible progress matters deeply. While others are chasing instant reward, you may be building strength that will hold later. A calm mind, a stronger work ethic, better judgment, better control over spending, better habits around time. These things may not flash brightly at first, but they form the base of lasting success. Patience also protects your emotions. A person who cannot wait becomes easy to disturb. Every delay feels like failure. Every obstacle feels personal. Every slow month feels like a disaster. That emotional instability can push a person into panic and poor decisions. A patient person is harder to shake. They can face a difficult season without losing direction. They know that a bad week is not a bad life. They know that one slow season does not define the future. That inner steadiness is valuable because it allows wise action under pressure. When you think long-term, you begin to ask better questions. What choice today will still serve me next year? What habit will strengthen my future instead of weaken it? What kind of work will still matter after the mood has passed? What investment of time now will create freedom later? These questions shift your focus from quick pleasure to meaningful progress. They teach you to think like someone who is building something real. Patience becomes easier when you learn to trust compound growth in all areas of life. Small actions repeated over time become powerful. Saving a little regularly becomes meaningful. Studying a little each day becomes expertise. Practicing a skill with discipline becomes competence. Choosing healthier routines creates stronger energy. These gains often arrive quietly. Then one day you realize how far you have moved. That moment is not magic. It is the result of patient effort given enough time to work. A long-term mindset also helps you avoid comparing your beginning to someone else's finished result. Comparison destroys patience because it creates false urgency. You look at another person's progress and feel pressure to catch up immediately. That pressure can make you abandon your own path, but every life begins somewhere different. Every journey has its own timing. Your task is not to live inside another person's timeline. Your task is to build your own life with care, respect your own season, respect your own pace, continue growing without noise. Patience is also a guard against emotional spending and emotional decisions. When people are impatient, they often try to buy relief. They want to feel better now. They want to escape the discomfort of waiting. But temporary relief often creates longer trouble. A patient person can sit with discomfort long enough to make a better choice. They understand that the feeling of wanting something is not the same as needing it. This difference can protect money, time, and peace. Another important part of patience is learning how to endure slow progress without losing faith. Some goals take longer than expected. Some plans need adjustment. Some efforts require repeated attempts before they begin to show clear results. A patient person does not see slow progress as wasted effort. They see it as part of the process. This view changes everything. Instead of growing bitter, they stay committed. Instead of quitting, they refine their approach. Instead of forcing results, they continue with wisdom. Long-term success depends on this kind of endurance. It depends on people who are willing to be consistent before they are celebrated. It depends on people who can work in silence. It depends on people who understand that time can be an ally if treated with respect. Patience helps you move through seasons without panic. It gives you the strength to remain steady when results are still forming beneath the surface. You can train patience through small daily choices. Wait before reacting. Wait before spending. Wait before speaking in anger. Wait before changing direction. Wait before assuming the worst. Waiting gives wisdom room to enter. It creates space between feeling and action. That space is where better decisions are made. A person who learns to wait is less likely to ruin a good future with a rushed mistake. Patience also grows when you keep your eyes on purpose. A clear purpose makes waiting easier because you know what the waiting is for. If your only focus is immediate comfort, then delay feels unbearable. But if you know that your choices are building freedom, security, or independence, then waiting becomes meaningful. Purpose gives patience direction. Direction makes sacrifice bearable. There is dignity in a patient life. It carries a quiet strength that does not need to prove itself every moment. It is not weak. It is controlled. It is not passive. It is intentional. It does not chase every distraction. It stays aligned with what matters. This kind of person may not seem dramatic, but they are often the ones who build the strongest outcomes over time. If you want long-term success, then practice patience in how you think, how you spend, how you work, and how you respond to setbacks. Refuse the lie that everything important must happen fast. Refuse the habit of giving up when progress is slow. Refuse the pressure to measure your life by other people's speed. Keep building, keep learning, keep saving, keep improving, keep moving forward, even when the results are still quiet. The person who masters patience becomes dangerous to defeat because they can outlast frustration, outgrow setbacks, and outwork distraction. They do not collapse when the path takes longer than expected. They remain faithful to the process. That faithfulness becomes strength. Strength becomes stability. Stability becomes success. Long-term success belongs to those who can wait with wisdom and act with discipline. It belongs to those who know that time can reward the consistent. It belongs to those who understand that the future is not stolen by slowness. It is built through it. Patience gives your efforts a chance to become something lasting. Guard it well. Practice it daily. Let it shape the way you live. Chapter 80. Set clear goals for financial independence. Financial independence begins in the mind before it appears in your bank account. It begins when you stop drifting through life without direction and decide what kind of future you want to build. Many people work for years without ever defining their destination. They earn money, spend it, and repeat the cycle without clarity. Without clear goals, effort becomes scattered. Scattered effort rarely leads to lasting progress. When you set clear goals, your actions gain meaning. Your time gains purpose. Your decisions become easier because you know what you are working toward. A person without goals often reacts to circumstances. They accept whatever comes without shaping it. This approach leaves life vulnerable to chance. Financial independence requires intention. It requires thinking ahead. It requires defining what freedom looks like for you. Some people want to eliminate debt. Some want to build savings. Some want to invest for long-term security. Others want flexibility to pursue meaningful work. These goals may differ, but clarity is essential. When you define your aim, you create a path. Clear goals also strengthen discipline. When you know why you are saving or investing, you are less tempted by impulse spending. You begin to measure choices against your purpose. A purchase may look attractive, but if it slows your progress, you pause. This shift from impulse to intention creates stability. Discipline becomes easier when guided by purpose. Financial independence is not only about numbers. It is about control. It is about the ability to make decisions without constant financial pressure. It is about having options. This vision gives your goals emotional meaning. When your goals connect to freedom, they become more powerful. You are no longer saving just for money. You are saving for peace, stability, and dignity. Setting goals requires honesty. You must assess where you are now. Understand your income, expenses, savings, and obligations. This assessment creates a starting point. Without knowing your current position, it is difficult to plan effectively. Honesty may reveal challenges, but clarity is the first step toward improvement. A clear starting point makes progress measurable. Once you understand your current situation, define specific targets. Decide how much you want to save. Decide how much debt you want to eliminate. Decide how much you want to invest. Specific goals create focus. Vague intentions often fade. When you define exact targets, your mind begins to organize around them. You start noticing opportunities to move closer to your goal. Breaking goals into smaller steps is helpful. Large goals can feel overwhelming. Smaller steps create momentum. For example, if you aim to build a savings fund, begin with manageable contributions. Each step forward builds confidence. Confidence encourages persistence. Persistence leads to meaningful results. Timeframes also strengthen goals. Decide when you want to reach each milestone. A timeframe adds urgency without panic. It encourages steady action. Without timeframes, goals remain distant ideas. With timeframes, they become active plans. Progress becomes easier to track. Clear goals also influence daily behavior. You begin to see how small actions contribute to long-term outcomes. Saving a small amount becomes meaningful. Avoiding unnecessary spending becomes purposeful. Learning new skills becomes strategic. Each decision gains significance. This awareness transforms routine choices into progress. It is also important to review your goals regularly. Life changes, income changes, priorities evolve. Regular review ensures that your goals remain relevant. Adjust when necessary. Flexibility supports resilience. A goal should guide you, not restrict you. Visualizing your financial independence can strengthen motivation. Imagine living without constant financial stress. Imagine having resources for emergencies. Imagine choosing work based on meaning rather than necessity. These images create emotional energy. They remind you why discipline matters. Accountability also supports goal achievement. Share your goals with someone trustworthy if possible. Discuss progress. Celebrate milestones. Accountability encourages consistency. It creates a sense of responsibility. Responsibility strengthens commitment. Clear goals also reduce distractions. When you know your priorities, you become less influenced by trends or pressure. You focus on what aligns with your vision. This focus protects your time and resources. It prevents wasted effort. Another important aspect is balancing ambition with realism. Set goals that challenge you but remain achievable. Unrealistic targets can lead to frustration. Balanced goals encourage persistence. They create steady progress. Financial independence also requires long-term thinking. Some goals may take years. Patience becomes essential. Avoid the temptation to abandon your plan when progress feels slow. Consistency over time creates results. Trust the process. Clear goals also improve confidence. As you achieve milestones, you build trust in yourself. This trust encourages further growth. Confidence supports better decisions. Better decisions strengthen your financial position. It is helpful to celebrate progress along the way. Recognize achievements. Appreciate effort. Celebration reinforces positive behavior. It keeps motivation alive. Progress becomes rewarding. Learning plays an important role in achieving financial independence. Continue expanding your knowledge. Study budgeting, investing, and planning. Education improves decision-making. Better decisions support goal achievement. Clear goals also help you prioritize opportunities. When a new opportunity appears, you evaluate whether it supports your direction. This evaluation prevents distractions. It keeps you aligned with your purpose. Persistence is essential. There will be challenges. Unexpected expenses may arise. Income may fluctuate. Stay committed. Adjust your plan without abandoning your goal. Resilience strengthens success. Financial independence is built through intentional choices. Clear goals transform intention into action. Action creates progress. Progress builds stability. Stability leads to freedom. Begin by defining what financial independence means to you. Set clear targets. Break them into steps. Create time frames. Review regularly. Stay disciplined. Learn continuously. Persist through challenges. These actions guide you toward lasting independence. Every step taken with purpose moves you closer to your vision. Clear goals give direction. Direction gives strength. Strength creates freedom. Financial independence becomes possible when your actions align with your purpose. Chapter 9Z. Take calculated risks that create growth opportunities. Growth rarely happens inside comfort. Progress often begins at the edge of uncertainty, where decisions feel difficult and outcomes are not guaranteed. Many people remain stuck financially not because opportunities are absent, but because fear prevents them from acting. They wait for perfect conditions, absolute certainty, and guaranteed success. Those conditions rarely exist. Life rewards those who learn to take calculated risks, not reckless leaps, but thoughtful steps that open doors to growth. A calculated risk is not blind gambling. It is a decision made with awareness, preparation, and purpose. It involves evaluating potential outcomes, understanding possible losses, and preparing for challenges before moving forward. This approach transforms risk from danger into opportunity. It allows you to grow without losing stability. It encourages courage guided by wisdom. Fear often disguises itself as caution. A person may convince themselves they are being careful when in reality they are avoiding growth. Remaining in a safe but stagnant position may feel comfortable, but over time it can limit progress. Financial independence requires movement. Movement requires decisions. Decisions sometimes involve stepping into uncertainty. This does not mean acting impulsively. It means acting with thoughtful courage. Many opportunities require a willingness to try something new. Learning a new skill may require investing time without immediate reward. Starting a side income may require effort after long work days. Investing money may involve temporary uncertainty. Changing careers may require stepping away from familiarity. These actions involve risk, yet they also create pathways that would otherwise remain closed. Calculated risk begins with understanding your current position. Assess your financial stability. Know your obligations. Understand your safety margin. This awareness allows you to take risks without placing yourself in unnecessary danger. A stable foundation makes bold decisions more sustainable. Without preparation, risk becomes reckless. With preparation, risk becomes strategic. One powerful way to take calculated risks is by starting small. Large leaps can be intimidating and dangerous. Small steps allow learning without overwhelming consequences. Testing a business idea on a small scale, learning a new skill gradually, or investing a manageable amount are examples of controlled experimentation. These small actions build confidence and provide valuable experience. Growth often requires temporary discomfort. Learning something new can feel frustrating. Trying a new opportunity may create uncertainty. These feelings are natural. Discomfort is often a sign that growth is occurring. Avoiding discomfort limits progress. Embracing it with patience and discipline opens new possibilities. Another important part of calculated risk is research. Before making a decision, gather information. Understand the opportunity. Learn from others who have taken similar paths. Study potential challenges. This preparation reduces unnecessary mistakes. Knowledge transforms uncertainty into informed action. Calculated risks also involve planning for setbacks. Not every attempt will succeed immediately. Prepare for obstacles. Create backup plans. Set limits on how much time or money you are willing to risk. These boundaries protect your stability while allowing exploration. Resilience grows when you expect challenges rather than fear them. Taking calculated risks also strengthens confidence. Each attempt, whether successful or not, builds experience. Experience sharpens judgment. Over time, decisions become more thoughtful. Confidence grows not from avoiding risk, but from navigating it wisely. Financial growth often requires stepping beyond familiar routines. A person who remains in the same pattern year after year may experience limited progress. Trying new strategies creates momentum. This may involve learning technology, exploring new markets, or developing additional income streams. Each attempt adds knowledge and increases potential. Calculated risks also encourage adaptability. The world changes constantly. Opportunities evolve. A person willing to adapt can benefit from these changes. Those who resist change may fall behind. Adaptability requires openness and courage. Taking risk strengthens both qualities. Another benefit of calculated risk is discovering hidden potential. Many people underestimate their abilities. They avoid challenges because they doubt themselves. When they finally try, they discover strength they did not know existed. This discovery transforms confidence and ambition. It is also important to distinguish between impulsive decisions and calculated risks. Impulsive decisions are driven by emotion. Calculated risks are guided by logic and purpose. Pause before acting. Reflect on potential outcomes. Consider long-term effects. This thoughtful approach increases the likelihood of success. Timing also matters. Some opportunities require patience before action. Others require quick decisions. Developing judgment helps determine when to act. This judgment improves with experience. The more you engage with opportunities, the better you understand timing. Calculated risks also involve investing in personal growth. Learning valuable skills may require time and effort. These investments often produce long-term benefits. Skills create independence. They open doors to new opportunities. Investing in yourself is one of the most reliable forms of risk. Financial independence often belongs to those willing to step beyond routine. They explore new possibilities. They learn continuously. They adapt to change. This mindset creates resilience. Resilience supports long-term growth. It is also helpful to evaluate potential rewards against possible losses. If the potential benefit significantly outweighs the risk, the opportunity may be worth exploring. This evaluation creates balanced decision-making. It prevents reckless behavior while encouraging growth. Support systems can also help when taking risks. Seeking advice from experienced individuals can provide perspective. Learning from others reduces mistakes. Collaboration strengthens decisions. Growth becomes more sustainable when guided by wisdom. Calculated risks also require emotional control. Fear and excitement can cloud judgment. Maintain calm thinking. Evaluate decisions with clarity. Emotional discipline improves outcomes. Taking calculated risks does not guarantee immediate success. However, avoiding risk often guarantees stagnation. Growth requires movement. Movement requires courage. Courage guided by preparation leads to opportunity. Every successful journey involves moments of uncertainty. Those who succeed are not fearless. They act despite fear. They prepare carefully. They move forward with intention. This mindset transforms uncertainty into progress. You can begin by identifying one area where growth is possible. Learn something new. Explore a side opportunity. Invest time in development. Take a small step. Evaluate results. Adjust and continue. Each step builds experience. Calculated risks create pathways that safe choices cannot. They expand your possibilities. They strengthen your resilience. They develop your confidence. Over time, these qualities lead to meaningful progress. Financial independence is built through thoughtful courage. It is shaped by decisions that move beyond comfort while protecting stability. It grows when you are willing to try, learn, and adapt. Every calculated risk becomes a step toward greater opportunity. Take action with preparation. Move forward with discipline. Learn from each attempt. Over time, calculated risks transform your path. They turn uncertainty into growth. They turn growth into stability. They turn stability into freedom. Chapter 20. Surround yourself with people who encourage progress. The people you spend time with shape the person you become in ways that are often invisible but profoundly powerful. Your habits, your thinking, and even your sense of possibility are influenced by those around you. When you surround yourself with people who encourage progress, you are giving yourself an advantage that cannot be bought. This is not about being popular or seeking approval. It is about choosing company that strengthens your vision, reinforces your values, and motivates you to act with purpose. Growth is accelerated when your environment supports it. Many people underestimate how much influence others have over their actions. Negative influences can drain energy, create doubt, and normalize mediocrity. When individuals constantly focus on complaints, distractions, or fear, it is easy to adopt the same mindset. Progress becomes difficult because the energy needed to advance is siphoned away. On the other hand, being with people who embrace learning, discipline, and ambition reinforces your own potential. Encouragement is contagious, and momentum grows when shared. Choosing the right circle begins with clarity about your own goals. If you want to achieve financial independence, develop new skills, or grow as a person, your associates should reflect similar ambition. This does not mean everyone must have identical goals. It means their energy should inspire rather than diminish. They should encourage effort, celebrate achievement, and challenge stagnation. Constructive influence pushes you forward while toxic influence pulls you back. Supportive people provide accountability. They notice when you slip into old habits. They remind you of your potential when you feel uncertain. They celebrate small victories that might otherwise go unnoticed. This reinforcement keeps motivation high and prevents discouragement from slowing progress. Accountability also sharpens focus because it encourages consistent effort over time. You are more likely to maintain positive routines when others expect it of you. Mentorship is another form of encouraging company. Experienced individuals provide guidance that shortens the path to success. They share lessons learned from their own failures and achievements. Mentorship can prevent repeated mistakes, saving both time and resources. A mentor also models discipline, resilience, and problem-solving skills that you can emulate. Observing successful behavior regularly rewires your own habits towards similar results. Avoiding negative influences is equally important. Some people intentionally or unintentionally undermine your goals. They criticize effort rather than encourage growth. They normalize excuses and fear. They diminish ambition through constant doubt or distraction. Being aware of these tendencies allows you to limit exposure. Protecting your mental and emotional space is crucial. Just as harmful spending can erode financial stability, harmful relationships can erode personal progress. Shared growth creates powerful reinforcement. When you are part of a circle where learning, ambition, and discipline are standard, it becomes natural to strive for more. Group energy can inspire higher standards, broader vision, and greater resilience. In these environments, challenges become opportunities. Discussions revolve around solutions rather than problems. Encouragement pushes you to take action that you might hesitate to take alone. Positive circles also teach perspective. Observing diverse experiences and strategies opens your mind to new possibilities. You learn that setbacks are part of the process. You learn that patience, discipline, and calculated risk are rewarded over time. Exposure to growth-minded people shapes your expectations and broadens your understanding of what is achievable. Consistency matters in choosing associates. One inspiring conversation is helpful, but sustained exposure is transformative. The more time you spend in encouraging environments, the stronger your habits become. Repetition reinforces values, and consistent influence strengthens mindset. Growth is rarely an isolated event. It is the result of steady influence over time. Supportive relationships also foster emotional resilience. Life presents inevitable setbacks. People who encourage progress provide perspective and reassurance during challenging times. They help you navigate obstacles without losing momentum. Emotional stability enhances decision-making and reduces impulsive choices that could harm long-term goals. You can actively cultivate this environment by seeking communities aligned with your purpose. This may include professional networks, learning groups, or peer circles focused on development. Engaging with books, podcasts, and online resources from thought leaders also counts as positive influence. The principle is consistent. Prioritize exposure to ideas and people that reinforce growth-oriented behavior. Encouraging company also challenges complacency. They ask questions, offer constructive feedback, and push boundaries. Comfort zones shrink when surrounded by ambition, which creates space for achievement. Challenges from supportive people feel motivating rather than threatening. They stretch your capabilities and help you discover potential you might not recognize on your own. Generosity of spirit is common in people who encourage progress. They celebrate success without envy, support effort without judgment, and offer guidance without manipulation. Being in their company normalizes positive interaction, improving your own interpersonal skills. Learning to collaborate, communicate, and encourage others enhances leadership and strengthens relationships across life. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people also encourages continuous learning. Knowledge and insight flow naturally when you engage with others who value improvement. Conversations spark ideas, reveal opportunities, and inspire action. Exposure to different perspectives expands your understanding of wealth, success, and personal development. You absorb habits and thought patterns that reinforce disciplined, ambitious behavior. It is equally important to evaluate your own influence. Encouraging others creates a cycle of positive energy. When you support the progress of those around you, you reinforce your own discipline and commitment. Contribution builds character, strengthens networks, and increases opportunities for collaboration. Being a positive force attracts similar individuals, compounding growth for everyone involved. Setting boundaries is necessary to maintain influence. Even within a positive circle, some interactions may drain energy or distract from priorities. Protecting focus ensures that encouragement remains effective. Time and attention are valuable resources. Aligning them with people who enhance progress maximizes impact on personal growth. Your personal environment, including relationships, becomes a multiplier of effort. Actions taken in isolation may produce results, but consistent reinforcement accelerates outcomes. Surrounding yourself with encouraging people creates accountability, motivation, and insight that amplify every step forward. It also buffers against setbacks, doubt, and discouragement, making persistence sustainable. Ultimately, the company you keep determines the culture of your life. Exposure to ambition breeds ambition. Exposure to discipline breeds discipline. Exposure to creativity breeds creativity. Progress is nurtured when your surroundings reflect the values you wish to embody. Choosing your circle deliberately is one of the most practical and impactful steps toward financial independence and personal growth. Begin by identifying the influences in your life. Recognize which relationships promote stagnation and which foster growth. Seek out mentors, peers, and communities aligned with your goals. Engage consistently. Contribute positively. Limit negative exposure. Evaluate influence regularly. This conscious approach ensures your social environment becomes a tool for advancement rather than a distraction. Time invested in the right people multiplies results. Inspiration, guidance, accountability, and reinforcement all flow from quality associations. Each interaction is an opportunity to strengthen habits, expand knowledge, and gain perspective. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage progress is not optional for those who aim for financial independence. It is essential. Growth is accelerated, stability is reinforced, and potential is realized when your circle uplifts rather than drains. When you commit to this principle, the trajectory of your life changes. You begin to think bigger, act with more confidence, and maintain focus even in difficult circumstances. Encouraging company becomes a source of energy, insight, and momentum. Success grows naturally in an environment designed to support it. Surrounding yourself with people who encourage progress is a daily choice that compounds over time, transforming not only your achievements but also your mindset and character. Chapter 11: Create multiple income streams for financial stability. Relying on a single source of income is one of the most common reasons financial stability is fragile. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances can change in an instant. Jobs can be lost, businesses can slow, and unexpected expenses can appear. When all your resources depend on one income stream, a single setback can disrupt your entire life. Building multiple streams of income is a proactive way to protect yourself and create flexibility. It allows you to continue growing even when one avenue temporarily falters, and it provides freedom to make decisions without constant pressure. Creating additional income does not necessarily require starting a business immediately. It begins with recognizing opportunities in your skills, interests, and environment. Many forms of income require time and effort more than money to start. Freelancing, consulting, online projects, part-time ventures, or investments can supplement primary earnings. The key is to begin with what you can control and scale gradually. Starting small ensures you manage risk while gaining experience. Diversifying income also strengthens your mindset. When money comes from multiple directions, you stop fearing dependence on a single source. Confidence grows because you know that setbacks in one area do not mean complete failure. This mental security encourages calculated risk-taking and long-term planning. Each additional income source also teaches new skills, expands networks, and increases understanding of financial dynamics. Income streams can be active or passive. Active streams require your time and direct effort, such as freelancing, consulting, or running a small business. Passive streams generate returns without constant involvement, like investments, royalties, or rental income. Combining both types ensures stability and growth. Active work provides immediate cash flow, while passive work builds long-term wealth. Striving for balance allows you to live securely now while preparing for the future. Investing in yourself is one of the most reliable ways to create income opportunities. Skills development, professional certifications, and continuous learning increase your value in the marketplace. Higher skills often translate into higher pay and the ability to leverage expertise across multiple projects. This approach converts personal growth directly into financial gain. Opportunities for additional income often appear where there is a need or problem that others are ignoring. Observing trends, understanding gaps in the market, and responding with solutions can create new revenue streams. Your perspective and creativity are assets that can be monetized when aligned with real demand. Being attentive to opportunities rather than waiting passively separates those who grow from those who stagnate. Consistency is critical in developing multiple income streams. One attempt may not yield immediate results. Regular effort is required to build momentum. Each project, whether it succeeds or teaches a lesson, contributes to long-term capability. Patience and persistence compound over time, transforming small beginnings into significant revenue sources. This steady approach reduces risk while maximizing growth potential. Another important principle is managing risk across different streams. Avoid concentrating too much in one area. Diversify projects, investments, and income types. Spreading risk ensures that the loss or slowdown of one stream does not derail overall stability. This strategy mirrors the financial wisdom used by successful investors and businesses. Technology provides unprecedented opportunities to create additional income. Digital platforms, e-commerce, online courses, freelance marketplaces, and content creation allow skills and products to reach global audiences. Leveraging technology reduces barriers to entry and provides scalability. Even small efforts online can grow into meaningful streams over time with consistent effort and smart strategy. Networking plays a role in creating multiple income sources. Connections can lead to opportunities, partnerships, and collaboration. The more you engage with others who are productive and ambitious, the more likely you are to discover income-generating ideas. Collaboration often accelerates results because it combines resources, knowledge, and effort in ways that one person alone cannot achieve. It is essential to track and measure each income stream. Understanding the profitability, time commitment, and growth potential of every source allows you to make informed decisions. Abandoning underperforming ventures and focusing on the most promising opportunities ensures efficiency. Regular review prevents wasted effort and ensures that all streams contribute effectively to overall stability. Managing multiple streams also requires disciplined organization. Keeping accounts, schedules, and priorities clear prevents chaos and stress. A structured approach allows focus on revenue-generating activities rather than being consumed by confusion. Effective management ensures that new opportunities complement rather than interfere with each other. Combining income streams also creates financial flexibility. You gain the ability to invest in larger projects, save strategically, and handle emergencies without panic. Freedom grows because dependency on any single source diminishes. This flexibility enhances decision-making and reduces pressure, making it easier to pursue long-term goals. Multiple income streams also support resilience. Life is unpredictable, and setbacks are inevitable. Having more than one source of income cushions against shocks and allows recovery without severe compromise. Resilience becomes a habit when you consistently maintain diverse revenue pathways. Exploring multiple streams encourages creativity and problem-solving. Each venture presents unique challenges that require innovative solutions. These experiences improve business acumen, resourcefulness, and critical thinking. Over time, these skills multiply across different areas of life and work, enhancing your ability to seize future opportunities. Patience remains vital when building multiple income sources. Initial results may be small or slow. Consistent effort is more important than immediate success. Each step, no matter how modest, contributes to a larger foundation. Over time, the combined effect of several streams can exceed what a single source might achieve alone. Investing the profits from additional income strategically can create compounding growth. Reinvest in learning, new projects, or passive income opportunities to expand your portfolio. This approach transforms effort into lasting financial security. It creates a system where your actions today build wealth and freedom for tomorrow. Creating multiple income streams is not about becoming overly busy. It is about thoughtful allocation of time and resources. Focus on high-potential opportunities. Scale gradually. Learn from experience. Avoid burnout by maintaining balance and efficiency. Intentional effort produces sustainable results. The mindset required for this approach is one of initiative, adaptability, and persistence. Embrace challenges as opportunities to learn. Seek continuous improvement in every venture. Recognize setbacks as lessons, not failures. This mindset turns each income stream into a learning tool as well as a revenue source. Begin by identifying skills, interests, and resources that could generate extra income. Explore opportunities within your reach. Start with small, manageable projects. Track results. Adjust strategies. Gradually expand into additional ventures. Each step compounds your financial stability and independence. The security, freedom, and growth that come from multiple income streams cannot be overstated. They protect against uncertainty, accelerate wealth accumulation, and enhance confidence. They create options in life that single-source dependence rarely provides. Building these streams is a process, but the cumulative effect transforms financial reality. Multiple streams create not just income, but resilience, opportunity, and long-term freedom. Chapter 12a: Improve daily routines that strengthen financial discipline. Daily routines shape the foundation of financial discipline more than any single decision ever could. Success in managing money is not built on sporadic effort, but on consistent, purposeful actions repeated over time. A person who improves daily routines develops habits that naturally support saving, investing, and responsible spending without constant struggle. Discipline is not about self-punishment. It is about structuring your day so that positive financial behaviors become automatic, reliable, and sustainable. The first step in strengthening financial discipline through routines is awareness. Understand how you currently spend your time and money. Identify patterns that undermine your goals. Small unnoticed actions like unnecessary subscriptions, impulse purchases, or wasted hours accumulate over weeks and months, creating barriers to progress. Awareness allows you to target the routines that need adjustment and ensures that your efforts are strategic rather than random. A key component is establishing a daily planning habit. Each day, take a few minutes to define priorities. Include time for budgeting, reviewing expenses, and planning spending. When money management is integrated into daily practice, it stops being an afterthought. Routine review reinforces accountability and ensures you remain conscious of your financial objectives. Automating tasks strengthens discipline by removing reliance on willpower alone. Set up automatic transfers to savings accounts, recurring bill payments, and investment contributions. Automation reduces the risk of procrastination and missed opportunities. Over time, these systems create a structure where consistent financial growth occurs without requiring constant decision-making. Automation allows focus on higher value actions while maintaining steady progress. Daily routines can also include short financial check-ins. Reviewing spending, income, and budget compliance each day keeps you informed and alert. Awareness of your financial position reinforces intentional decision-making. Regular monitoring prevents small oversights from snowballing into larger issues. Discipline grows when attention to money is consistent rather than sporadic. Incorporating goal-oriented habits is another powerful tool. Start the day by revisiting financial targets and milestones. This may include savings goals, debt reduction plans, or investment objectives. Linking daily actions to long-term aims creates motivation and clarity. Each choice throughout the day can then be evaluated based on whether it aligns with these objectives. This alignment reduces impulsive spending and increases deliberate action. Time management is integral to strengthening financial discipline. Allocating specific hours for work, learning, and side projects maximizes productivity and income potential. Wasted time often translates into missed opportunities. Structured routines ensure that valuable hours are devoted to activities that generate value, knowledge, or revenue. Efficient time use reinforces financial control and builds a habit of purposeful activity. Developing routines for reflection enhances financial intelligence. Each evening, consider what went well and what could improve. Evaluate decisions, spending patterns, and investment choices. Reflection is a feedback mechanism that allows continuous learning. Over time, small daily adjustments compound into significant improvement. Discipline is strengthened when action is coupled with thoughtful evaluation. Routines can also include intentional skill development. Dedicate time each day to learning about finance, investing, or entrepreneurship. Knowledge acquisition becomes a habitual part of life rather than a sporadic effort. Continuous learning improves decision-making, reduces errors, and enhances confidence in financial choices. Education becomes a routine behavior that contributes directly to long-term success. Accountability systems within daily routines are powerful. Share your progress with a trusted friend, mentor, or community. Report achievements, challenges, and plans. This creates external reinforcement of your discipline, motivating you to maintain consistency. Accountability adds structure and reduces the likelihood of neglecting critical tasks, reinforcing the impact of routine behaviors. Healthy routines also involve balancing work, rest, and focus. Stress and fatigue often lead to poor financial decisions. When energy levels are managed, you are more likely to make thoughtful choices. Prioritize sufficient sleep, physical activity, and mental clarity. A disciplined body supports a disciplined mind, and a disciplined mind produces disciplined financial behaviors. Another strategy is batching financial tasks. Combine similar actions, such as reviewing bills, paying accounts, or analyzing investments, into scheduled sessions. Batching increases efficiency and reduces decision fatigue. When tasks are grouped and executed consistently, they become easier to maintain. The habit of focused attention reinforces overall financial discipline. Routines should also include regular planning for future expenses. Anticipating bills, savings targets, and investments reduces reactive spending. When future obligations are integrated into daily planning, your financial life becomes proactive rather than chaotic. Preparation strengthens control over your resources and prevents costly surprises. Daily routines can incorporate mindfulness around spending. Pause before purchases to assess necessity and alignment with goals. Asking simple questions, such as whether a purchase supports your financial plan, cultivates intentionality. Over time, mindfulness reduces impulse spending and reinforces habits that contribute to long-term stability. Visual reminders can reinforce daily financial routines. Notes apps or charts displaying goals, balances, or progress create constant awareness. Visual cues integrate financial consciousness into daily life, keeping objectives top of mind. Regular exposure to these indicators encourages continuous, disciplined action. Positive reinforcement strengthens adherence to routines. Celebrate small successes daily. Acknowledge consistency in saving, investing, or tracking expenses. This recognition encourages persistence and frames discipline as rewarding rather than restrictive. Habit formation is accelerated when action is tied to positive feedback. Consistency is the foundation of effective daily routines. Even small steps repeated reliably produce substantial results over time. Saving a little each day, reviewing expenses regularly, or investing consistently compounds. Daily commitment transforms ordinary behaviors into powerful financial habits. The impact grows exponentially when repeated over months and years. Adaptability within routines is also crucial. Life circumstances change, and routines should be flexible enough to accommodate shifts without losing focus. Adjust schedules, priorities, or methods as necessary. Resilience in maintaining core financial practices despite change ensures continued progress. Discipline is preserved when routines are designed to withstand variations. Long-term financial discipline is built from these daily actions. The cumulative effect of small, intentional behaviors creates control, security, and growth. Each day becomes an opportunity to reinforce values, make conscious choices, and build momentum. Progress is the result of persistent, structured effort rather than occasional bursts of activity. Begin by identifying key behaviors that support your financial goals. Integrate them into a daily schedule. Review, adjust, and refine consistently. Automate where possible. Track results. Maintain focus on both immediate actions and long-term outcomes. Surround routines with supportive habits that reinforce progress. Over time, daily attention to financial discipline transforms not just your money, but your mindset, confidence, and life trajectory. Chapter 13. Read regularly to expand financial knowledge. Reading regularly is one of the most powerful habits for building financial knowledge because it exposes you to ideas, strategies, and perspectives that you cannot gain through experience alone. Knowledge compounds just like money when applied consistently, and each book, article, or report you read expands your understanding of wealth, investments, and financial systems. Reading cultivates curiosity, sharpens decision-making, and allows you to learn from the successes and failures of others without enduring the same mistakes yourself. The habit of reading creates a mindset attuned to opportunity and critical thinking, which is essential for long-term financial growth. To develop this habit effectively, it is important to choose materials that challenge and expand your understanding. Focus on books about personal finance, investing, economics, entrepreneurship, and wealth-building principles. Each reading session should contribute something tangible that you can apply immediately. When you encounter practical advice, take notes, summarize key ideas, and consider how to implement them in your life. Actionable knowledge is far more valuable than theoretical understanding alone. Daily reading, even in small increments, has a profound effect over time. 20 minutes every day accumulates into dozens of hours of focused learning in a year. This consistent exposure to financial concepts gradually rewires your thinking patterns. You begin to recognize opportunities, identify risks, and understand complex financial mechanisms that would otherwise remain opaque. Discipline in reading mirrors discipline in financial management, reinforcing habits that create long-term advantage. Reading widely also allows you to compare different strategies and viewpoints. Some authors emphasize conservative investing, others entrepreneurial risk, and others focus on wealth psychology. Exposure to multiple approaches encourages critical thinking, allowing you to adopt techniques suited to your circumstances rather than following advice blindly. This discernment enhances decision-making and reduces vulnerability to trends or popular opinions that may be misleading. Integrating reading into your daily routine requires intentionality. Choose a consistent time and environment where you can focus without distraction. Consider mornings before daily tasks or evenings before bed, creating a ritual that reinforces the habit. Physical books, e-books, and audiobooks all provide opportunities for learning. Audiobooks are especially useful for making productive use of time spent commuting, exercising, or performing routine tasks. Reading also strengthens problem-solving skills. When you explore case studies, biographies, or financial analyses, you gain insight into how challenges were approached and resolved. Observing how others navigated setbacks, made investments, or built enterprises equips you with frameworks that can be applied in your own life. Financial knowledge is not just about numbers, it includes understanding psychology, decision-making, and strategy. Applying what you read is critical. Knowledge without action yields no change. After reading, identify 1 or 2 concepts to implement immediately. This could involve adjusting a budget, starting a small investment, negotiating a contract, or learning a new skill. Action solidifies understanding and builds confidence, turning abstract ideas into tangible outcomes. Repetition over time transforms learning into expertise. Engaging actively with the material enhances retention. Highlight passages, take notes, and ask questions about what you read. Summarize chapters in your own words, and explain concepts to others if possible. Teaching or discussing ideas deepens comprehension and encourages practical application. Engaged reading transforms passive intake into active learning, which directly improves financial literacy and problem-solving ability. Reading consistently also builds patience and long-term thinking. Financial success is rarely instant. By immersing yourself in the stories, strategies, and research of others, you internalize the principle that wealth develops gradually. Exposure to examples of delayed gratification, disciplined investment, and strategic growth reinforces habits that prioritize long-term outcomes over immediate rewards. Technology can support this habit by providing access to a vast library of resources. Online platforms, podcasts, research papers, and newsletters complement traditional reading. Curate content that challenges you to think critically and stay informed about trends, markets, and economic developments. Staying current while building foundational knowledge ensures that your understanding remains relevant and actionable. Reading also improves decision-making by sharpening analytical skills. As you encounter financial scenarios, you learn to evaluate risk, compare alternatives, and forecast outcomes. These skills are essential for making wise investments, negotiating opportunities, and managing personal wealth. The more you read, the more adept you become at interpreting information and making informed choices. Surrounding yourself with others who value reading amplifies the habit. Join book clubs, online forums, or professional communities focused on financial literacy. Discussion with peers provides additional insights and perspectives that deepen understanding. Exposure to diverse viewpoints encourages continuous curiosity and reinforces accountability in maintaining the reading habit. The habit of reading regularly also cultivates resilience and adaptability. Financial environments are constantly changing. By continuously educating yourself, you stay prepared to respond to market shifts, regulatory changes, and new opportunities. Knowledge equips you to navigate uncertainty with confidence rather than reacting impulsively to circumstances. Building a library of resources is an investment in yourself. Over time, you will accumulate a body of knowledge that serves as a personal reference for decisions. Returning to material periodically reinforces understanding, reveals nuances missed in initial reading, and provides fresh insight as experience grows. The process of revisiting concepts enhances mastery and practical application. Reading about real-life examples is particularly impactful. Biographies of entrepreneurs, investors, and innovators reveal the mindset, discipline, and strategies behind success. Understanding the obstacles they faced and the decisions they made offers practical lessons that cannot be found in abstract theories. These narratives inspire action while providing concrete models for emulation. It is important to avoid passivity in reading. Skimming without comprehension or delaying application diminishes value. Active engagement, note-taking, and immediate application are what transform reading into a tool for growth. Consistency, reflection, and intentionality are essential to extracting maximum benefit. Reading regularly encourages financial creativity. Exposure to diverse ideas sparks innovative approaches to earning, saving, and investing. By understanding multiple strategies, you can combine concepts in unique ways that suit your goals and circumstances. Creativity in finance often distinguishes those who grow wealth steadily from those who plateau. Finally, cultivating this habit reinforces confidence and independence. Knowledge reduces dependence on others' advice, promotes self-reliance, and empowers you to make informed choices. The more you read and apply what you learn, the more capable and confident you become in navigating complex financial decisions. Financial literacy becomes both a shield and a tool for building lasting wealth. Developing a consistent reading habit is a deliberate, disciplined choice that compounds over time. It expands knowledge, enhances critical thinking, encourages practical application, and builds confidence. Reading equips you to recognize opportunities, avoid mistakes, and implement strategies that accelerate growth. Daily commitment to financial literacy through reading transforms potential into action, knowledge into wisdom, and insight into tangible results. By making reading a central part of your life, you create a foundation for continuous learning, informed decisions, and long-term financial success. Chapter 4. Save consistently before spending on wants. Saving consistently before spending on wants is the cornerstone of financial stability and long-term wealth. It is not merely a rule, it is a mindset that prioritizes future security over momentary gratification. Most financial struggles occur because money is spent impulsively on desires rather than being allocated strategically toward goals. Developing the discipline to save first transforms your relationship with money, creating control, confidence, and freedom. Consistent saving is the habit that enables investments and builds emergency funds and provides flexibility for opportunities that arise unexpectedly. The principle is simple yet powerful: pay yourself first. Before buying non-essential items, allocate a portion of income to savings or investments. This ensures that your financial future is prioritized. The act of saving becomes automatic when it is built into your routine, reducing reliance on willpower alone. By treating savings as a mandatory expense, you shift your behavior from reactive spending to proactive financial management. Consistency is more important than the amount saved initially. Small but regular contributions compound over time into substantial wealth. Even modest savings, when repeated daily or weekly, grow due to the power of time and disciplined accumulation. This practice reinforces the habit of prioritizing long-term needs over temporary wants, cultivating patience and strategic thinking. Tracking income and expenses is essential for effective saving. Understanding exactly where your money goes allows you to identify unnecessary spending and reallocate it towards savings. Many people fail to save consistently because they are unaware of their actual spending habits. Recording every transaction clarifies priorities, reveals patterns, and supports conscious decision-making. Awareness itself encourages restraint, as it illuminates the consequences of unchecked desires. Automating savings ensures that consistency is maintained even during busy or stressful periods. Setting up direct deposits into a savings account or automatic transfers into investments reduces the temptation to spend first. Automation removes the need for daily decision-making and prevents human error from undermining your long-term objectives. Over time, this system builds a foundation that allows you to focus on growth rather than merely surviving financially. Saving before spending also strengthens discipline in all areas of life. When you consistently delay gratification, it builds mental resilience, patience, and self-control. These qualities extend beyond money management into professional performance, personal development, and relationships. The ability to prioritize long-term outcomes over short-term pleasures is a trait shared by successful and financially independent individuals. Differentiating between needs and wants is crucial for implementing this habit. Needs are essential expenses required for survival and stability, while wants are discretionary and often indulgent. By consciously separating these categories, you ensure that basic obligations are met, savings are prioritized, and spending on non-essentials occurs only after financial goals are secured. This distinction is a practical tool that guides every financial decision, preventing impulsive choices from derailing progress. Creating a structured plan reinforces this behavior. Establish savings goals, allocate percentages of income for different purposes, and commit to these targets. Goals provide motivation and clarity. For example, having an emergency fund, retirement plan, or investment target encourages disciplined saving because the purpose of funds is tangible. Defined objectives transform abstract discipline into meaningful, actionable practice. Saving consistently also provides psychological security. Knowing that funds are available for unexpected expenses reduces anxiety and prevents panic spending. Emergencies no longer force debt accumulation or hasty decisions. This peace of mind allows better focus on growth opportunities and long-term planning. Security encourages risk-taking in controlled, calculated ways, supporting wealth accumulation. The habit of saving before spending teaches financial prioritization. Every spending decision is filtered through the lens of responsibility and future benefit. You begin evaluating purchases based on value and alignment with goals rather than fleeting desire. This careful consideration enhances judgment, reduces waste, and ensures that financial resources serve meaningful purposes. Savings can be divided into multiple categories to serve different objectives simultaneously. An emergency fund, investments, and personal growth initiatives all benefit from dedicated contributions. Allocating funds across priorities ensures balanced progress. This approach prevents neglecting critical areas while still allowing for calculated spending on wants once essential savings are secured. Balanced saving strategies reinforce stability and growth. Regularly reviewing progress strengthens commitment. Tracking accumulated savings, assessing interest or investment returns, and comparing outcomes with goals provides feedback that motivates continuation. Observing tangible results reinforces behavior and demonstrates the practical benefits of disciplined saving. This accountability promotes continuous improvement and prevents regression into impulsive habits. The discipline of saving before spending also encourages creativity and problem solving. To maintain savings while meeting obligations, you identify ways to reduce costs, increase income, or optimize resources. This process develops skills in budgeting, negotiation, and strategic planning. Each challenge overcome reinforces competence and confidence, making financial growth sustainable. Avoiding unnecessary debt is a natural consequence of consistent saving. When funds are available for planned purchases, reliance on loans or credit diminishes. Interest payments, fees, and financial stress associated with debt are minimized. Saving first creates autonomy over financial choices, enabling you to invest or spend strategically rather than reacting to circumstances. This autonomy strengthens resilience and long-term stability. Adapting lifestyle choices to reflect savings priorities enhances the habit. Simple adjustments such as delaying luxury purchases, finding cost-effective alternatives, or embracing frugality without deprivation reinforce the principle. Lifestyle alignment ensures that saving becomes an effortless aspect of daily living rather than a burdensome chore. Over time, the habit becomes intrinsic, shaping behavior automatically. Consistency and persistence transform saving from a task into a lifestyle. It is not about occasional effort, but about embedding the practice into every financial decision. Each saved dollar reinforces discipline, confidence, and future potential. Over months and years, cumulative contributions create wealth that far exceeds initial expectations. Persistence ensures that discipline is maintained despite challenges or temptations. Sharing goals with trusted individuals enhances accountability and motivation. When others are aware of your savings commitments, you are more likely to adhere to them. Social reinforcement strengthens personal resolve and provides encouragement during difficult periods. Collaboration and discussion about progress also offer insights, strategies, and perspective that improve effectiveness. Finally, saving consistently before spending on wants develops freedom. By controlling financial behavior, you gain choice over how to live, invest, and pursue opportunities. Independence is cultivated through disciplined action, not luck or sudden windfalls. Each decision to save reinforces the foundation of control, positioning you to act strategically rather than reactively. Starting small is better than waiting for the perfect moment. Even minimal contributions create momentum, establish habits, and demonstrate commitment. Gradually increasing savings as income grows ensures continuous reinforcement and progress. The habit becomes ingrained, guiding decisions and shaping long-term financial behavior. Saving consistently before spending transforms potential into security, ambition into action, and discipline into freedom. It is the habit that underpins all other financial strategies, providing the stability and confidence required to pursue goals without compromise. The act of prioritizing savings over wants is a daily exercise in responsibility, foresight, and control, laying the foundation for lasting wealth and independence. Chapter 15T. Focus on solutions instead of blaming circumstances. Focusing on solutions instead of blaming circumstances is the most powerful way to take control of your life and financial future. People who remain trapped in complaining and excuses often see little progress because energy is spent on what cannot be changed rather than what can be influenced. Every setback, challenge, or obstacle contains the potential for learning and growth if approached with a problem-solving mindset. Shifting attention from blame to action empowers you to make choices that directly improve your situation and build resilience over time. The first step in adopting this mindset is acknowledging that circumstances are rarely fully within your control, but your responses always are. External events, economic conditions, or other people's actions may create challenges, but focusing on them as reasons for stagnation prevents growth. Instead, examine what you can do today to move forward, no matter how small the step. This approach transforms challenges into opportunities for proactive improvement rather than sources of frustration. Blaming circumstances often stems from fear or avoidance. It is easier to point to external factors than confront uncomfortable truths about choices, habits, or mindset. Recognizing this tendency is crucial because it allows conscious redirection of energy. Every moment spent complaining is a moment lost in problem-solving, learning, or action. Redirecting attention to solutions trains the mind to respond creatively, decisively, and effectively to difficulties. Developing a solution-oriented mindset requires reframing problems. Instead of asking why something happened, ask what can be done to improve the outcome. This subtle shift creates an immediate sense of control and purpose. Even in situations with limited options, exploring alternative actions, resources, or strategies generates avenues for progress that would remain hidden under a blame-focused perspective. Action is central to focusing on solutions. Ideas without execution remain theoretical and provide no benefit. Once a problem is identified, outline possible steps, prioritize actions, and implement them systematically. Progress, even incremental, reinforces confidence, teaches lessons, and motivates continued effort. Taking responsibility for results rather than circumstances builds a habit of effectiveness that multiplies across all areas of life. Failure is an inevitable part of growth, but focusing on solutions transforms setbacks into lessons. Instead of viewing failure as a product of external forces, analyze what adjustments, knowledge, or strategies could yield better results next time. This reflective approach strengthens decision-making, builds resilience, and ensures that challenges enhance capability rather than diminish confidence. Problem-solving also involves leveraging resources intelligently. Identify tools, networks, or knowledge that can help address challenges. Seeking advice, learning from experts, or utilizing technology expands options and accelerates progress. Solution-focused individuals maximize available resources instead of lamenting their absence, turning limitations into creative advantages. Mindset plays a pivotal role in this approach. Regularly remind yourself that responsibility lies in your hands, even when circumstances are difficult. Developing mental discipline to maintain focus on actionable steps strengthens perseverance and prevents discouragement. Optimism grounded in realism fuels practical action, while pessimism rooted in blame hinders progress and wastes energy. Another practical strategy is anticipating obstacles before they arise. Planning and preparation reduce the impact of challenges and allow faster, more effective responses. By considering potential difficulties, identifying resources, and creating contingency strategies, you create a proactive rather than reactive approach to life. Anticipation transforms uncertainty from a threat into an opportunity to refine problem-solving skills. Focusing on solutions requires emotional regulation. Frustration, anger, or disappointment can cloud judgment and reduce effectiveness. Learning to respond calmly and strategically under pressure enhances the ability to generate creative options. Emotional control ensures that energy is directed toward meaningful actions rather than venting or dwelling on circumstances. Collaboration is often an overlooked element in solution-focused thinking. Engaging others for advice, support, or joint action can reveal options that were not apparent individually. Teamwork allows shared problem solving, encourages accountability, and fosters innovative approaches. Solution-oriented people understand that seeking input is a strength, not a concession, and leverage it to achieve outcomes more efficiently. Daily habits reinforce this mindset. Dedicate time to assessing challenges, brainstorming possible solutions, and planning actionable steps. Regular reflection on obstacles encountered and strategies employed builds analytical skills and reinforces confidence in your ability to overcome difficulties. Habits of proactive thinking create a natural tendency to respond constructively rather than reactively. Focusing on solutions also reduces stress and anxiety. When energy is directed toward action rather than blame, challenges appear manageable rather than overwhelming. Viewing problems as puzzles to solve cultivates curiosity, engagement, and perseverance. Stress diminishes because attention is applied where it produces results instead of being wasted on what cannot be controlled. This mindset encourages continuous learning. Every problem solved adds knowledge, skill, and experience. Difficulties become teachers rather than adversaries. Maintaining curiosity about how to improve, optimize, or innovate in response to challenges ensures that personal growth continues alongside problem resolution. Learning from every situation turns setbacks into stepping stones toward mastery and achievement. Solution-oriented thinking enhances leadership and influence. People are naturally drawn to those who generate options and take decisive action rather than those who complain. By focusing on results, you inspire confidence, encourage collaboration, and attract opportunities. Developing a reputation for problem-solving strengthens both professional and personal prospects, creating a cycle where effectiveness leads to further influence and resources. Financially, this approach is critical. Market fluctuations, job challenges, or unexpected expenses can easily derail unprepared individuals. By concentrating on solutions, you identify ways to increase income, reduce costs, and optimize resources. Financial resilience grows because action replaces anxiety, and every problem becomes a chance to strengthen systems, skills, and strategies. Practically, begin each challenge by defining the problem clearly. Ask yourself what is within your control and what actions can produce meaningful improvement. List potential solutions and select the most practical, impactful steps. Implement quickly and monitor results. Adjust as needed while maintaining focus on outcomes rather than dwelling on the origin of the difficulty. This systematic approach ensures consistent progress even under adverse conditions. Finally, cultivating gratitude alongside solution focus enhances perspective. Recognizing available resources, skills, and opportunities prevents feelings of helplessness and encourages constructive thinking. Gratitude amplifies motivation and reinforces the belief that challenges are manageable and solvable with effort and creativity. Focusing on solutions instead of blaming circumstances is a deliberate, disciplined choice that empowers individuals to take control of their lives. It transforms obstacles into learning opportunities, challenges into growth experiences, and setbacks into foundations for resilience. By consistently applying proactive problem-solving, emotional regulation, and practical action, you build capability, confidence, and progress. Life becomes a series of achievable objectives rather than a sequence of uncontrollable events, and every difficulty encountered becomes a chance to strengthen both skill and character. This approach not only accelerates financial success, but also cultivates mental toughness, resourcefulness, and independence that carry into every area of life. Chapter 16c. Build confidence through small, consistent achievements. Confidence is not built overnight or through grand gestures, but through consistent, small achievements that compound over time into undeniable self-assurance. Every action, no matter how minor, contributes to a track record of competence and reliability. When you set achievable goals and meet them consistently, you create proof for yourself that you are capable, effective, and able to influence your own life. This process turns abstract aspirations into tangible results and strengthens belief in your abilities, which is essential for both personal and financial growth. The first step is to define small, realistic tasks that move you closer to your larger objectives. These tasks should be specific, measurable, and attainable within a short period. Success in these small steps reinforces a sense of control and accomplishment. When progress is visible, motivation increases and inertia decreases. Small victories act as building blocks for tackling more complex challenges, creating a natural upward spiral of confidence. Consistency is critical. Achievements gain power not because they are large, but because they happen repeatedly. Daily, weekly, or monthly accomplishments accumulate, demonstrating to yourself that discipline, effort, and focus reliably produce results. Consistency trains the mind to expect success from deliberate action, which strengthens resilience against doubt or fear. Each repeated success reinforces the belief that progress is possible even under difficult circumstances. Documenting achievements enhances the effect. Recording completed tasks, milestones reached, or progress toward goals provides visual proof of competence. Reviewing this record during times of self-doubt reminds you of your capabilities and the results of sustained effort. Tangible evidence of progress strengthens internal validation and reduces reliance on external approval. Confidence becomes grounded in reality rather than perception. Setting progressive goals ensures continued growth. Start with simple tasks and gradually increase complexity or challenge as competence grows. Early wins build momentum, making it easier to take on larger projects over time. Incremental progression prevents overwhelm, ensures measurable progress, and maintains motivation. This approach mirrors the principle of compounding, where small, consistent efforts accumulate into significant skill and confidence over time. Celebrating small wins reinforces positive behavior. Recognizing effort and progress provides emotional reinforcement, making habits more likely to stick. Celebrations need not be extravagant. Acknowledgement, reflection, or small rewards suffice. Emotional recognition strengthens motivation and encourages ongoing engagement with the tasks that build confidence. A culture of self-recognition fosters internal validation and reduces the dependence on external approval for self-esteem. Facing challenges deliberately and successfully builds resilience alongside confidence. Each problem solved or obstacle overcome, even on a small scale, proves personal capability. These experiences teach resourcefulness, patience, and problem-solving skills, all of which enhance belief in one's ability to navigate uncertainty. Confidence rooted in experience is far more durable than confidence based solely on intention or perception. Daily routines that reinforce small achievements are crucial. Schedule focused time for completing tasks that move you closer to your objectives. Habitual accomplishment reduces procrastination and develops discipline. The predictability of progress provides stability and builds trust in your own abilities. Structured routines make success a natural outcome of deliberate, repeated action rather than a random event. Visualization of progress can amplify the psychological effect of small achievements. Mentally rehearsing successful completion of tasks enhances self-efficacy and prepares you for execution. Visualization creates clarity, reduces anxiety, and primes the mind to recognize opportunities for action. By seeing success before it occurs, you strengthen the internal belief system that drives confidence. Accountability can accelerate the impact of consistent achievements. Sharing goals with mentors, peers, or support networks provides reinforcement and encouragement. Reporting progress creates social validation and increases the likelihood of follow-through. External accountability works alongside internal motivation, ensuring that actions are completed and reinforcing the habit of achievement. Reflection is a powerful tool for amplifying confidence. Regularly reviewing accomplishments allows recognition of patterns, strengths, and areas of improvement. Reflection transforms experience into insight, providing clarity about what strategies work and what adjustments are needed. Confidence grows when knowledge is grounded in both action and understanding, creating a feedback loop of competence and growth. Breaking large goals into smaller, manageable components prevents discouragement and creates opportunities for frequent success. Large objectives can seem overwhelming and lead to inaction, but when divided into actionable steps, each success reinforces progress. The sense of momentum generated by repeated completion fuels motivation and builds belief in the ability to achieve even ambitious outcomes. Confidence gained through small achievements also encourages initiative. As belief in capability strengthens, individuals are more likely to take action, rather than hesitate or defer decisions. Initiative generates further opportunities for success, creating a cycle where action, achievement, and confidence reinforce each other. This proactive behavior distinguishes individuals who grow steadily from those who remain stagnant. Learning from minor setbacks is equally important. Occasional failure does not negate accumulated achievements. Rather, it provides valuable feedback for improvement. Approaching challenges as learning experiences rather than as reflections of inadequacy maintains confidence while refining skills. Resilient confidence emerges from the combination of consistent success and constructive adaptation to setbacks. Developing competence in multiple areas through repeated achievements builds holistic confidence. Success in various domains, whether financial, professional, or personal, provides proof of versatility and adaptability. Diverse accomplishments create a broader foundation of self-assurance, reinforcing belief in the ability to handle novel challenges. Confidence becomes a stable trait rather than a situational feeling. Mentoring or teaching others based on small successes strengthens confidence further. Sharing knowledge or demonstrating skills reinforces mastery and validates capability. Mentorship also provides perspective, showing how incremental progress accumulates into significant achievement. Confidence is enhanced when you recognize the value of your own experiences for helping others succeed. Maintaining focus on process over outcome ensures sustainable confidence. Emphasizing consistent effort and action rather than solely results prevents discouragement from external factors. When confidence is rooted in controllable behaviors, it becomes resilient to unpredictable events, setbacks, or delays. Process-oriented thinking cultivates reliability, patience, and long-term belief in personal competence. Using small achievements to set benchmarks encourages continuous improvement. Compare current performance with past accomplishments to measure growth and identify areas for enhancement. Benchmarking allows tracking of progress over time and fosters a sense of competence that grows with every step forward. This approach provides measurable evidence of advancement and reinforces motivation. Ultimately, confidence built through small, consistent achievements is durable, practical, and actionable. It transforms hesitation into initiative, fear into problem solving, and doubt into proactive engagement. By committing to daily actions, reflecting on progress, celebrating wins, and applying lessons from setbacks, self-assurance becomes a natural outcome of disciplined effort. This form of confidence is deeply grounded, adaptable, and capable of driving sustained personal and financial success. Every small success is a statement of capability, every consistent effort a reinforcement of belief, and every completed goal a proof of competence. Over time, these cumulative achievements shape mindset, habits, and identity. Confidence is not granted, it is earned through repeated, deliberate, and measurable actions that demonstrate to yourself that you can succeed. Consistency, reflection, and persistence transform small victories into the foundation for a life of competence, empowerment, and achievement. Chapter 17. Use time wisely to increase productivity daily. Time is one of the most valuable resources, and using it wisely is essential for achieving productivity and progress every day. Many people fail to realize that how they spend each hour directly shapes their results, habits, and long-term success. Productivity does not come from working harder, but from working smarter, focusing on high-value activities, and eliminating distractions that waste energy and attention. By taking control of time and prioritizing meaningful actions, you create momentum that compounds into significant achievements over months and years. The first step in using time wisely is understanding its value. Every moment is finite, and once spent, it cannot be reclaimed. This awareness encourages careful consideration of priorities and activities. Viewing time as a non-renewable asset shifts decision-making toward tasks that generate tangible outcomes, skill development, or progress toward goals. Conscious allocation of hours ensures that effort produces measurable results rather than being consumed by low-impact habits. Planning is central to effective time use. Begin each day by identifying the most critical tasks and arranging them in order of importance. Creating a structured schedule reduces indecision, prevents wasted moments, and ensures that attention is applied to activities that matter most. Clear priorities eliminate the tendency to drift into reactive or unproductive behaviors. Effective planning transforms a chaotic day into a sequence of deliberate, purposeful actions. Breaking tasks into manageable segments enhances productivity. Large projects can feel overwhelming and paralyze progress. Dividing work into smaller, actionable steps creates clarity and allows consistent forward movement. Completing these segments provides immediate feedback, reinforcing motivation and creating a sense of accomplishment that fuels continued effort. Incremental progress over time accumulates into substantial results. Eliminating distractions is essential for maximizing focus. Social media, unnecessary meetings, and idle browsing consume attention and reduce the quality of work. Designate specific times for communication and interruptions while reserving blocks of uninterrupted focus for high-priority tasks. A distraction-free environment allows deeper concentration, faster completion of work, and greater satisfaction from accomplished goals. Time tracking is a practical tool to improve efficiency. By recording how hours are spent, patterns of wasted or underutilized time become apparent. Awareness of time expenditure allows adjustments, prioritization, and optimization of daily routines. Small refinements in time management compound, resulting in significantly higher productivity over weeks and months. Routine and habit formation strengthen time management. Developing consistent schedules for work, learning, exercise, and rest automates productivity. Habits reduce the mental effort needed for decision-making, freeing energy for critical tasks. Structured routines create rhythm, predictability, and efficiency, ensuring that high-value activities receive consistent attention without reliance on motivation alone. Batching similar tasks enhances efficiency. Grouping repetitive or related activities together minimizes transition time and mental fatigue. For example, handling all emails in one session or scheduling calls consecutively conserves focus and allows deeper engagement with each task. Batching aligns effort with natural cognitive rhythms, improving quality and speed of work. Delegation and outsourcing are important strategies for effective time use. Not every task requires personal attention, and spending hours on low-value activities reduces capacity for impactful work. Identify responsibilities that can be delegated or automated and reallocate time toward tasks that generate greater results. Strategic delegation multiplies productivity and accelerates progress toward goals. Setting deadlines fosters discipline and prevents procrastination. Open-ended tasks often expand to fill available time, creating inefficiency. Establishing clear timeframes encourages focused effort, prioritization, and accountability. Deadlines create urgency without panic, motivating steady progress and reducing the accumulation of incomplete tasks. Reflection and review improve time use over the long term. At the end of each day, evaluate completed tasks, identify areas for improvement, and plan adjustments. Regular review helps refine prioritization, streamline processes, and recognize which activities yield the greatest impact. Reflection transforms experience into knowledge and strengthens the ability to use time intentionally. Time management also includes allocating periods for rest and recovery. Productivity is not constant, and mental fatigue reduces efficiency and decision-making quality. Strategic breaks, adequate sleep, and recovery routines ensure sustained energy, focus, and creativity. Proper rest supports consistent performance rather than short bursts of effort followed by burnout. Leveraging tools and technology enhances efficiency when used thoughtfully. Task management apps, calendars, reminders, and automation systems reduce mental load, track commitments, and streamline repetitive actions. Using technology strategically saves time while preserving focus for work that requires skill, judgment, and creativity. Tools must serve goals rather than become distractions themselves. Prioritizing tasks using impact-based evaluation ensures that time is spent on activities that contribute most to success. High-value work generates significant returns relative to effort, whereas low-value tasks consume time without advancing objectives. Distinguishing between urgent and important tasks allows focus on activities that produce meaningful outcomes rather than reacting solely to immediate demands. Procrastination reduces both productivity and confidence. Breaking tasks into small, Immediate actions and beginning work promptly prevents time from being consumed by indecision. Action, even imperfect, creates momentum that drives further progress. Early engagement with tasks reduces stress, reinforces control, and ensures completion within allocated time. Continuous learning improves time efficiency by enabling better methods, faster decision-making, and more effective problem-solving. Knowledge gained through reading, observation, and experience enhances planning, reduces errors, and streamlines execution. Investing time in learning multiplies returns by enabling smarter work and faster achievement of goals. Visualization and goal-setting support focused time use. Clearly imagining desired outcomes clarifies priorities and motivates consistent action. Setting measurable objectives allows progress to be tracked, adjustments made, and effort aligned with results. Visualization reinforces commitment and provides a mental roadmap for allocating time effectively. Energy management is as important as time management. Aligning demanding tasks with periods of peak focus and reserving routine or low-energy work for other times maximizes efficiency. Understanding personal rhythms allows work to be scheduled according to mental and physical capacity, ensuring that time is utilized productively rather than wasted in periods of fatigue. Accountability strengthens consistent use of time. Sharing goals, progress, and schedules with mentors, peers, or collaborators increases commitment and reduces procrastination. External oversight encourages adherence to plans and provides feedback for refinement, enhancing productivity and ensuring that time is consistently applied toward meaningful objectives. Using time wisely is also about elimination. Remove tasks, habits, and commitments that do not contribute to goals or well-being. Streamlining responsibilities frees capacity for work that drives results. Saying no to non-essential demands ensures that attention and energy remain aligned with priorities, creating sustained progress without overextension. Finally, strategic reflection at the end of each week consolidates lessons learned. Analyze accomplishments, time allocation, and productivity patterns. Identify improvements, adjust plans, and celebrate progress. This cyclical process of planning, executing, and reviewing creates a rhythm that continually enhances effectiveness, maximizes time utilization, and drives consistent daily productivity. Using time wisely to increase productivity daily is a deliberate practice that combines planning, prioritization, focus, and reflection. Every hour becomes an opportunity to advance goals, build skills, and reinforce discipline. By eliminating distractions, leveraging routines, and aligning effort with objectives, time becomes a tool for growth rather than a constraint. Consistent, intentional use of time compounds into mastery, achievement, and long-term success. Chapter 18. Think long-term when making financial decisions. Thinking long-term when making financial decisions is the cornerstone of lasting wealth and stability. Most people focus on immediate gratification, short-term gains, or temporary convenience, and these choices often undermine their future security. Wealth is rarely built through impulsive decisions. It grows through consistent, deliberate actions that prioritize lasting benefit over instant satisfaction. By cultivating the habit of long-term thinking, you train your mind to evaluate consequences, identify opportunities, and make choices that compound over years into meaningful financial independence. The first step is to understand the difference between short-term pleasure and long-term value. Immediate rewards such as luxury purchases, unnecessary subscriptions, or impulsive spending may bring momentary satisfaction, but rarely contribute to financial growth. Long-term thinking requires assessing whether each decision strengthens your financial position, improves skills, or enhances future earning potential. Every expenditure or investment should be weighed for its potential to produce lasting benefit rather than fleeting enjoyment. Patience is essential for long-term financial thinking. Many people abandon strategies that require time because results are not immediate. True financial discipline involves tolerating delayed gratification and accepting that wealth accumulation is a gradual process. By consistently making prudent decisions, even when outcomes are not yet visible, you create habits and momentum that lead to significant rewards over time. Budgeting and financial planning are foundational practices for long-term thinking. Allocating income wisely, saving consistently, and investing strategically ensures that money works for you rather than being consumed immediately. A detailed plan allows for evaluation of each decision's impact on future goals. Regular review and adjustment of plans keep you aligned with long-term objectives while avoiding impulsive choices that erode progress. Investing with a long-term perspective multiplies returns and reduces risk. Short-term speculation often leads to losses due to market volatility and emotional decision-making. Long-term investments, whether in stocks, real estate, or other assets, benefit from compounding, appreciation, and stability. Understanding the power of time and allowing assets to grow steadily creates wealth that far exceeds the results of reactive financial behavior. Avoiding debt that hinders future flexibility is critical. Borrowing for immediate consumption can compromise opportunities for growth, reduce savings, and increase financial stress. Long-term thinking prioritizes financial freedom over temporary comfort, ensuring that obligations do not restrict future choices or prevent wealth accumulation. Every decision to borrow or spend should be evaluated for its impact on future security and potential growth. Long-term thinking also involves evaluating risk carefully. Decisions should balance potential rewards with possible consequences over time. Calculated risks that align with future objectives can accelerate growth, whereas impulsive risks often result in setbacks. Developing the ability to assess outcomes, plan contingencies, and act with foresight enhances decision-making and protects long-term financial interests. Education and knowledge are essential for sustainable long-term decisions. Understanding markets, economic principles, personal finance, and investment options allows you to anticipate challenges and make informed choices. Continuous learning ensures that decisions are based on insight rather than emotion or external influence. A well-informed approach strengthens confidence and aligns actions with long-term goals. Setting clear financial goals supports long-term thinking. Goals act as a compass, guiding daily decisions and preventing distractions from temporary temptations. Whether saving for retirement, purchasing property, or building a business, clearly defined objectives create a framework for evaluating every financial choice. Goals make it easier to prioritize resources, track progress, and maintain focus on outcomes that matter most over time. Long-term thinking requires discipline in lifestyle and consumption. Avoiding excessive indulgence, unnecessary spending, and high-cost habits preserves resources for investments and growth. Living below your means, prioritizing savings, and focusing on essential expenditures create a foundation for financial security. Each conscious choice reinforces the habit of evaluating decisions in terms of long-term value rather than immediate satisfaction. Diversification and strategic allocation of resources protect long-term financial health. Spreading investments across different sectors, asset types, and opportunities reduces vulnerability to market fluctuations. Long-term thinkers prepare for uncertainty by ensuring that no single decision jeopardizes future stability. Strategic diversification enables growth while managing risk, creating resilience against economic challenges. Time horizon awareness is crucial. Recognizing how decisions made today affect outcomes years or decades later encourages foresight. Short-term benefits should never overshadow the potential for compounding growth, financial independence, or security. Every choice should be measured against its contribution to long-term wealth creation and life objectives. Monitoring and adjusting financial strategies over time reinforces long-term thinking. Periodic evaluation allows for corrections, optimization, and alignment with evolving goals. Adapting strategies in response to changing circumstances ensures that progress remains steady and consistent. Long-term thinking is not rigid. It combines foresight with flexibility to maintain direction without being derailed by temporary fluctuations. Mindset is a critical factor in sustaining long-term financial focus. Cultivating patience, resilience, and strategic foresight enables consistent action despite delays or challenges. Emotional discipline prevents impulsive decisions and protects against regret caused by short-term thinking. Confidence in the process and trust in gradual growth create stability and reduce stress. Long-term thinking applies to career and income strategies as well. Investing in skills, education, and professional development increases earning potential over decades. Choosing opportunities that provide growth and advancement rather than immediate reward strengthens future financial independence. Each decision regarding time, effort, or career choice should be evaluated for its long-term impact rather than temporary gain. Avoiding lifestyle inflation is essential for preserving long-term financial gains. As income increases, maintaining restraint in spending ensures that additional resources are directed toward investments, savings, and future security. Long-term thinkers consistently allocate new resources to growth-oriented activities, reinforcing habits that accumulate wealth over years. Mindful consumption aligns spending with values and objectives. Every purchase should be intentional, contributing to well-being, productivity, or long-term goals. Avoiding impulsive or status-driven spending protects resources for investment and meaningful financial growth. Intentional choices reinforce discipline and maintain focus on the bigger picture rather than short-term desires. Building an emergency fund supports long-term stability. Preparing for unexpected events prevents crises from derailing progress and ensures that financial decisions remain strategic rather than reactive. Security provides peace of mind, allowing consistent investment, saving, and growth without fear of disruption. Long-term thinking also encourages the use of financial advisors, mentors, or trusted resources. Consulting knowledgeable individuals allows for more informed decisions, reducing errors and improving outcomes. Guidance helps align choices with future goals and strengthens the habit of strategic, forward-looking decision-making. Finally, every financial decision should be assessed through the lens of long-term consequence. Immediate rewards are often tempting, but considering how choices affect wealth, freedom, and security over years ensures deliberate action. Compounding patience and disciplined strategy transform small, consistent choices into substantial results. By consistently prioritizing future value, long-term thinkers create stability, independence, and wealth that extend far beyond temporary satisfaction. Thinking long-term when making financial decisions is a habit that requires awareness, discipline, and planning. Every expenditure, investment, and strategy should be evaluated for its future impact rather than immediate gratification. By cultivating patience, aligning actions with goals, and maintaining focus on sustained growth, individuals build wealth, resilience, and independence. Long-term thinking transforms decisions from reactive to deliberate, creating outcomes that multiply over time and secure a foundation for lasting financial success. Chapter 19. Develop resilience during financial challenges and setbacks. Resilience during financial challenges and setbacks is the foundation of long-term success and stability. Life will inevitably present obstacles, unexpected expenses, market downturns, or income disruptions. How you respond to these situations determines whether you will grow stronger or be overwhelmed. Developing resilience is not about avoiding difficulties but learning to adapt, recover, and continue progressing despite adversity. It requires mental discipline, emotional regulation, and a practical approach to problem-solving that transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. The first step is accepting responsibility for your financial situation without falling into blame or self-pity. Even when external circumstances contribute to hardship, your ability to respond effectively is entirely within your control. Acceptance provides clarity, reduces wasted energy on unchangeable factors, and allows focus on actionable solutions. Viewing setbacks as temporary and solvable rather than permanent failures strengthens confidence and determination. Building a financial buffer is a practical way to enhance resilience. Emergency funds, savings, and accessible investments provide security during unforeseen events. Knowing you have a safety net reduces panic, prevents impulsive decisions, and allows rational problem-solving. Financial preparedness transforms uncertainty into manageable challenges, reinforcing the mindset that difficulties are temporary and navigable. Maintaining a disciplined approach to spending and saving is crucial. During challenging periods, habitual restraint ensures that essential needs are met while avoiding further financial strain. Consistent budgeting, prioritization, and conscious allocation of resources create a stable foundation even when income fluctuates or unexpected expenses arise. Discipline prevents setbacks from escalating into crises and maintains long-term progress. Adaptability is a core element of resilience. Financial challenges often require creative thinking and flexibility. Adjusting spending habits, renegotiating obligations, exploring alternative income streams, or revising investment strategies are practical responses that prevent stagnation. Being rigid or resistant to change increases vulnerability, while adaptability allows opportunities to emerge from difficult circumstances. Developing problem-solving skills enhances the ability to navigate setbacks effectively. Approach financial difficulties as puzzles to be solved rather than insurmountable obstacles. Analyze root causes, evaluate options, and implement solutions systematically. Breaking complex challenges into smaller, manageable steps makes action more feasible and reduces feelings of overwhelm. Each successful resolution builds competence and confidence for future challenges. Emotional regulation is critical in maintaining resilience. Stress, fear, or frustration can cloud judgment and lead to impulsive decisions that worsen financial situations. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, reflection, and structured decision-making maintain clarity and rationality. Emotional discipline enables strategic action under pressure, ensuring that responses are intentional and constructive. Persistence is essential in overcoming financial setbacks. Temporary failures do not define ultimate success. Continuing to pursue goals despite obstacles demonstrates commitment and determination. Resilient individuals view setbacks as feedback rather than defeat, adjusting strategies while maintaining focus on long-term objectives. Persistence ensures momentum is sustained even during periods of difficulty. Seeking knowledge and guidance strengthens resilience. Learning from experts, mentors, or credible resources provides insight into managing financial challenges effectively. Understanding principles of investment, debt management, and resource optimization equips you to navigate crises with skill. Informed decisions reduce errors and increase the probability of successful outcomes during adversity. Networking and support systems are valuable for maintaining resilience. Surrounding yourself with individuals who provide encouragement, advice, or practical assistance helps sustain motivation during difficult periods. Support networks provide perspective, share solutions, and offer accountability, reinforcing the mindset that challenges can be overcome through collaboration and resourcefulness. Reframing setbacks as opportunities encourages proactive response. Every financial difficulty presents lessons in planning, discipline, and strategy. By identifying what can be learned or improved, challenges transform from obstacles into stepping stones. This perspective reduces fear, promotes growth, and strengthens the capacity to handle future difficulties with confidence. Maintaining long-term focus is vital. Short-term hardships should not derail long-term objectives. Consistently evaluating decisions in the context of broader goals ensures that temporary setbacks do not cause disproportionate reactions or hasty decisions. Long-term perspective fosters patience, reinforces discipline, and allows recovery without losing sight of ultimate objectives. Incremental progress preserves momentum during adversity. Even small, consistent actions such as controlled spending, incremental saving, or gradual debt reduction maintain a sense of achievement. These steps demonstrate that progress continues despite challenges, reinforcing confidence and motivation to persevere. Resilient individuals capitalize on small victories to sustain morale and action. Resourcefulness is a practical skill for navigating financial setbacks. Identifying alternative solutions, leveraging available tools, and maximizing existing assets increases flexibility and reduces dependence on external conditions. Being resourceful turns limitations into opportunities and provides actionable pathways to maintain stability and growth. Reflection and evaluation enhance resilience. Analyzing past setbacks to understand mistakes, patterns, and effective strategies equips you to respond better in the future. Reflection transforms experience into insight, creating a knowledge base that strengthens decision-making and reduces the likelihood of repeating errors. Each setback becomes a lesson that adds to skill and wisdom. Maintaining health and energy supports resilience. Stressful financial situations require sustained cognitive and emotional effort. Adequate sleep, nutrition, exercise, and mental well-being are essential to maintain focus, decision-making ability, and the stamina to implement solutions effectively. Physical and mental resilience reinforce financial resilience, creating a holistic approach to overcoming challenges. Diversifying income and resources increases security. Relying solely on one source of income increases vulnerability to setbacks. Creating multiple streams, whether through investments, side businesses, or passive income, spreads risk and provides options during difficult periods. Diversification enhances flexibility, reduces stress, and strengthens the capacity to adapt when challenges arise. Setting realistic expectations preserves resilience. Understanding that setbacks are normal and growth takes time prevents discouragement. Unrealistic demands or impatience lead to impulsive decisions and emotional strain. Realistic expectations maintain perspective, reduce anxiety, and support sustained effort toward recovery and long-term goals. Developing a proactive mindset is key. Anticipating potential challenges, preparing contingency plans, and monitoring progress allows rapid and effective responses. Proactive individuals are less likely to be caught off guard, ensuring that setbacks are manageable and do not derail broader objectives. Planning ahead transforms uncertainty into a manageable component of financial growth. Gratitude and perspective reinforce resilience. Recognizing resources, progress, and strengths even during difficulties provides emotional stability and motivation. Focusing on what can be controlled rather than lamenting what cannot fosters constructive action. Gratitude shifts attention from despair to opportunity, strengthening the mindset necessary to overcome financial adversity. Resilience during financial challenges is cultivated through a combination of preparation, discipline, adaptability, and mindset. Each setback becomes an opportunity to strengthen habits, improve decision-making, and reinforce long-term objectives. By maintaining focus, taking strategic action, and learning from experience, difficulties no longer derail progress, but instead serve as catalysts for growth, skill development, and sustainable financial stability. Every financial challenge encountered is an opportunity to build strength. Every careful decision made under pressure reinforces competence, and every recovery from adversity solidifies confidence. Resilient individuals approach obstacles with clarity, persistence, and strategy, ensuring that temporary hardships contribute to long-term success rather than eroding it. By consistently applying discipline, learning from experience, and maintaining perspective, financial setbacks become stepping stones toward independence, security, and lasting achievement. Chapter 20: Take action daily toward financial independence. Taking action daily toward financial independence is the single most effective way to transform your life and secure lasting freedom. Many people dream of financial independence, yet few achieve it because they treat it as a distant goal rather than a daily responsibility. Wealth is not an abstract concept. It is built through consistent effort, deliberate choices, and a commitment to progress every single day. Each day presents opportunities to save, invest, learn, and improve, and ignoring these opportunities allows time to pass without results. Financial independence is the product of repeated, intentional actions over months and years, and cultivating the discipline to act daily ensures that you move steadily toward that goal. The first step is creating a clear plan of action. Goals must be specific, measurable, and time-bound. Without clarity, action lacks direction and impact. Identify your target level of financial independence, whether it is replacing your income, building a certain net worth, or achieving passive income sufficient to cover your lifestyle. Break this goal into achievable milestones and define daily tasks that move you closer to each milestone. Planning transforms vague ambition into structured, actionable steps. Daily action requires a practical approach to income management. Track earnings, set aside savings, and allocate funds toward investments immediately. Treat money as a tool for growth rather than a resource to spend without purpose. Small, consistent deposits into savings accounts, investment portfolios, or retirement funds compound over time and dramatically accelerate progress. The habit of daily attention to finances ensures that no opportunity for growth is missed. Time management is critical in taking daily action. Prioritize activities that directly impact financial goals. Avoid low-value distractions that consume energy without producing results. Schedule periods each day for focused work, learning, and financial planning. Treat these sessions as non-negotiable appointments with your future self. Consistent daily engagement builds momentum and reinforces the habit of taking productive action. Education and skill development amplify the impact of daily efforts. Reading books, following market trends, learning new income, generating skills, and staying informed about financial strategies increase your capacity to make informed decisions. Knowledge enables smarter investments, more effective spending, and better resource allocation. Dedicate time every day to learning something actionable that improves your financial situation, turning each day into a building block for long-term success. Investing consistently is another critical component. Whether through stocks, real estate, or business ventures, allocating funds regularly allows your wealth to grow through compounding. Daily action may involve researching investment opportunities, evaluating risk, or setting up automated contributions. Taking small, consistent steps ensures that your financial future benefits from steady accumulation rather than waiting for sporadic windfalls or lucky breaks. Cutting unnecessary expenses daily reinforces progress. Evaluate each purchase critically and distinguish between wants and needs. Redirect funds that would otherwise be spent on non-essential items towards savings or investments. Conscious financial decisions every day prevent waste and reinforce the habit of disciplined money management, which compounds into substantial wealth over time. Building multiple income streams requires daily commitment. Side businesses, freelance work, passive income strategies, or monetizing skills all require incremental effort every day. Even small contributions accumulate into meaningful income over months and years. Taking consistent action ensures that you are not reliant on a single source of income and reduces vulnerability to financial disruption. Accountability strengthens daily action. Track progress, maintain journals, or share milestones with a mentor or trusted peer. Recording actions and results creates feedback that highlights successes, identifies areas for improvement, and reinforces commitment. Accountability ensures that daily efforts remain aligned with long-term objectives and prevents procrastination from eroding progress. Mindset is equally important in sustaining daily action. Confidence, discipline, and resilience enable consistent execution even when results are not immediately visible. Understand that progress is gradual and that each day's effort contributes to a cumulative outcome. Avoid discouragement from temporary setbacks and maintain focus on incremental gains, knowing that persistence compounds into independence. Routine and structure support habitual action. Establish daily rituals around finances, learning, and productivity. Regular patterns reduce decision fatigue and create automatic behaviors that reinforce financial progress. Over time, these habits become ingrained, and daily action occurs with minimal reliance on motivation, ensuring consistency regardless of emotional fluctuations. Problem solving and adaptability enhance the effectiveness of daily actions. Challenges will arise, including unexpected expenses, income fluctuations, or investment volatility. Daily reflection and adjustment allow you to respond proactively rather than reactively. Tackling small problems each day prevents them from escalating and ensures that momentum toward financial independence is maintained. Goal visualization supports focus and motivation. Taking time each day to imagine achieving financial independence reinforces commitment and guides decision-making. Visualizing the benefits of independence strengthens the connection between daily effort and long-term rewards, making choices more intentional and reducing the temptation to prioritize short-term gratification. Leverage technology to optimize daily action. Automate savings, investments, and bill payments where possible to ensure consistency. Use budgeting apps, calendars, and reminders to track financial tasks and maintain efficiency. Automation ensures that essential steps are taken even during busy or challenging days, reinforcing the habit of steady progress. Resilience is critical when setbacks occur. Daily action is not about perfection but persistence. Missed opportunities, market downturns, or unexpected costs will arise, but the key is to return to consistent action immediately. Each day presents a chance to recover, adjust, and continue moving toward independence, making resilience a practical component of daily practice. Networking and seeking guidance contribute to more effective action. Daily engagement with mentors, peers, or financial communities provides insights, new opportunities, and support. Even brief daily interactions or research can uncover strategies that accelerate progress, turning each day into a step toward growth. Time prioritization ensures that effort is focused where it matters most. Daily action must target high-value tasks, whether generating income, enhancing skills, or optimizing financial management. Avoiding low-impact activities and focusing on what produces measurable results ensures that time invested each day compounds into meaningful progress toward independence. Reflection at the end of each day reinforces learning and improvement. Evaluate accomplishments, analyze decisions, and identify areas to optimize tomorrow. Daily reflection allows fine-tuning of strategies, correction of mistakes, and reinforcement of productive habits. It turns experience into actionable knowledge, ensuring that every day contributes to long-term objectives. Discipline is reinforced through repetition. Taking even small steps every day builds momentum, strengthens habits, and fosters confidence. Over time, consistent daily action shapes identity, creating a person who naturally prioritizes financial independence and acts in alignment with long-term goals without relying solely on motivation. Taking action daily toward financial independence transforms ambition into reality. Wealth, security, and freedom are not the result of luck but of disciplined, deliberate effort repeated consistently. Each day is an opportunity to save, invest, learn, and progress. By committing to intentional action, evaluating results, adjusting strategies, and persevering despite setbacks, financial independence becomes an inevitable outcome. Daily action compounds over time, turning consistent effort into lifelong freedom, stability, and the ability to live life on your own terms.